Okay. I think. I think we're here. I think. Hi, everybody. Hopefully, you can hear us. Hopefully, you can hear Hanapengu. Can I hear Hanapengu?
Can you hear me?
I can
I mean,
hear
I
you.
said that kind of quietly, actually.
Yeah. I was going to
This is my
say,
normal volume.
oh, good. I was going to say, I can hear you, but you're quiet. Okay. Excellent.
And I
Hopefully,
realized after I said it that I had kind of like Soto voiced that.
I see. Are you, um, are you able to check the sound of both of us on on the stream? From
Yes,
like,
but I do need to do the thing where I mute it in the one place and I unmute it in the
yeah,
other place.
let's do that.
I hear me fine.
And can you hear me?
I hear you fine.
Excellent. Then let's do this.
Okay.
So, when last
And
we
now I have the
left.
correct.
Okay, you're now in the correct volumes?
Yes.
Excellent. All right. So, when last we left our heroes, we had just finished dealing with the ghost in the library, where Tabitha took our place and took the punishment. And we did not go through the denouement. So I think that very end of chapter 3 is where we're at, and then we'll go into chapter 4. So let's do this thing, right? Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. You're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blows small piles of dried leaves across the steps of the library.
I'm parked just over there. Let's head back. I feel like shit.
Tabitha doesn't wait for a response, pushing past you and heading towards the car.
I'm gonna peace out too. Back to back encounters with my own mortality. I've got a lot to ponder. See ya, Rosalina. See ya, Alexis.
Zane walks off down the road. Were you
I'm
Sybil?
so
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Sybil.
Okay.
I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you earlier in the night. I had no idea what y'all were planning to do.
How were we supposed to know it would be like that?
Things have been strange around town, sweetie. Now's not the time to be poking around in the supernatural. I thought you learned that lesson yesterday.
But magic isn't real. I mean, it's not supposed to be. God, that hurt. Everything is so sore. Oh, I think that was me as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My bones weren't meant to bend like that. I'm gonna be hurtin' for a few days at least. And poor Rosalina.
I'll make sure to bring them both some tea later. I think I have just the thing. Ugh, I bet she does.
Yeah. Mom, this is no time for tea. Jesus, the girl's lost a leg. She needs real medication.
Real medication comes from natural ingredients, doesn't it? What I have to offer is no different than what Dr. Kelly would prescribe. Wow, sorry, I'm just having a moment with that line.
Yep. Just a little bit. Yep.
And besides, after all you've seen, are you really so sure you have that much of a grasp on the real and unreal?
Hmm.
Streamer, is it?
Uh.
I kind of am tempted to that. Y'all need
The.
to start being nicer to my cousin.
Uh.
Although, it's over is also pretty valid.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Tabitha had a heart of gold is a good line too.
I think this is the good one to do. That I knew Tabitha had a heart
Yeah.
of. Yeah. I knew Tabitha had a heart of gold buried somewhere under all the coal dust and grumpiness. I'd say I didn't believe it happened, but she looks awful right now. Maybe I misjudged her.
I I don't know what to say. Tell her she has my deepest gratitude. And that I'm so sorry. I don't know how I can possibly make this up to her. And I can't believe I let Rosalina go in there. I can't believe I let any of you go in there. How could I have been so careless?
I think the
The
top
top two are
one.
both good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like a whole bunch of things here.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are explorers, but I know some
Yeah.
of them are mutually exclusive. Like the top two, it's one or the other. But they're both good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the top one is. You couldn't
Yeah.
have known what was going to happen, Oscar. None of us could have known. Don't blame yourself.
I'd seen it before. I should have known it could get worse. I shouldn't have let Rosalina come with us. Dad, what did I tell you? Stop blaming yourself. You couldn't have stopped me. If you tried, we were just gonna sneak in after you.
Yeah, Rosalina was going to make us go in there no matter what.
You didn't put a ghost in our house. This is not on you. I know you've both had a difficult time of this, but the storm has passed. Things will start getting better from here.
Uh, let's ask. Uh, let's talk about the carvings. I think we'll get
Yeah,
to
makes sense.
Stella last. There was another carving in there. They keep giving me visions. Hmm. I
I'm
wonder
happy to
if
be a
those.
believer.
Yeah, I wonder if those things are tied to everything supernatural that's been happening. Yeah, I wonder. One is a coincidence, but two of them on back to back nights. And if you and Stella are right and there's another one in the clinic.
I'm sorry, I'm a little lost. You've been finding carvings around town and they've been giving you visions?
This is news to me, too.
I'm sure everyone here could stand around theorizing about this and that all night long. There will be plenty of time for that tomorrow. Streamer, if you have the time, I'd love to discuss these visions over tea after you've had the chance to get some rest.
Alright, there's Wayne to ask about, and then asking them what it was like. Let's ask about Wayne first. I ran into Wayne in one of those rooms, and he vaguely threatened Stella if I kept poking around. Wait, are you serious? Should we be worried about her?
I mean,
Oh,
I do like that. He also crushed a
yeah.
ditchling
I
with his
think we should
bare
be
hands. Like, especially
sufficiently
considering
impressed.
I think we've punched one.
We have. He also crushed a ditchling with his bare hands. It was pretty scary. I mean, they're kind of soft, right? They probably wouldn't be that hard to crush. Maybe.
There was someone else in there? But that's my house. Rosalina and I live there.
Did he say anything else to you?
We don't need to trouble Streamer for any details. No one pay any mind to that man. He's just a drifter. He'll be gone soon enough. In the meantime, steer clear and he won't make trouble.
Honestly, should we be worried about Stella in general right now? She's just sort of standing there by herself. This isn't like her. Okay. Uh let's go talk to Stella, I guess maybe. Do we want to
Yeah,
go? Yeah, I think we walk over there. I'm going to go check in with her. You walk over to Stella.
Oh, hey, Streamer.
Hmm. I was thinking I'm sorry I couldn't
Like,
get you
yeah,
out.
especially since we did the thing where we tried to pull her out.
Yeah. I'm so sorry I couldn't get you out of there sooner.
Sorry, I can't talk right now. See you later.
She hurries off down the road. Uh,
I'd say the second or third.
Should we go after her? That one?
Yeah, either should we go after her or no wonder.
Yeah, okay. Let's see this one. Should we go after her? She didn't seem okay. Stella.
I think she just needs some time to herself. Stella's never been the kind to share her burdens, and I doubt that will change just because somebody goes chasing after her. If anything, it would just make her clam up even more. She's a strong girl. She'll be okay. I'm honestly surprised that she and Zane are the only ones heading out right now. Each and every one of you needs rest after what you've been through tonight. Especially you, Kanika. We don't want that cold of yours to get any worse. And don't pay too much mind to that drifter's empty threats. I'll make sure not a hair comes to harm on that girl.
Okay, now time to ask about all of these questions.
Yeah.
Were you all conscious that whole time? Everyone glances at each other. Though none of them gave any of their years away, you can see how exhausted they are, how unsettled. Yeah. It was awful. Kind of fun, too, but mostly awful.
I'm pretty sure we remember everything, at least up until Sybil showed up and snapped us out of it.
What was it like being puppeted? They all glance away.
It hurt. Why didn't I make the kids stay behind? I can't believe I let that happen to them. Dad, this might be the overwhelming pain and exhaustion talking, but shut up. I love you. You didn't do anything wrong, okay?
I had no idea what I was going to say until the words were already spilling out. It was like I had no control over myself. I remember each and everything I said. It's like it was burned into my memory.
You poor souls. I can't begin to imagine what you've all been through.
Do any of you know who you were supposed to be? No idea. The words just came out.
There was no context, nothing. But there was a weird feeling, like overwhelming guilt.
I was so angry.
I was mostly just scared.
I didn't feel any of those things. I don't know how to describe it. I felt powerful. I was just cold.
We should probably get going. It's starting to get chilly out, and there's still work to do to get Rosalina set up for the night. Don't be a stranger, and let us know if you need anything, Oscar. I will. Thank you, all of you, again. I believe it's time for me to get my daughter home as well.
But
Kanika, dear, you haven't been feeling well. You need to get some rest.
okay. I'll see you tomorrow, streamer.
I think the second one's fine.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Cool. Kanika warily treks back to the general store.
Before I go,
Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment.
I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, but let's not get into it here. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, streamer.
Sybil leaves you and catches up to her daughter. You can't help but overhear snippets of their conversation as they leave. My whole body hurts, Mom. What was that? And I want a better answer than a ghost.
It was a spirit, dear. I've never been a fan of the word ghost. You'll be all right. Let me get you some of that special tea. It's been working well, don't you think?
I think ibuprofen would be better, but I gotta admit, the tea has been nice.
I'll put the kettle on as soon as we get home.
I guess it's just the two of us now. Hmm. What do we want? Do we want to go through the explorers?
Um, I think we kind of already asked the
Yeah.
top two.
Yeah. Do we want to ask if he regrets it?
Yeah, they.
Oh, they, sorry, yeah. Do you regret coming along tonight? Look, that was a horrible experience that will stick with me for the rest of my days. But it was also kind of amazing for that. I don't know if that makes sense, but how many other people can say they were possessed by a ghost? Uh, okay. I
I think that's a perfectly valid thing to
Yeah.
say.
I guess you finally got some shared trauma with everyone now. Avery chuckles, then grabs at their ribs, wincing. Yeah, I guess I do, huh? I know tonight was horrific, but it was also thrilling, and knowing we all went through it together makes it easier. There are people to commiserate with tomorrow morning when the soreness really starts to set in. Which reminds me, I'd better get back home. I'm supposed to have a shift tomorrow morning. I might have to call in sick. But here's hoping a good night's sleep is enough to heal up. And, tell Tabitha I hope she feels better soon. See you around, streamer. Avery heads off, leaving the square in front of the library empty. Time to wrap things up here. The ride back is nearly silent. Tabitha is visibly exhausted, her face drawn and pale. Fresh furrows have formed in the corners of her mouth and at the edge of her eyes, and her once uniformly sandy blonde hair is painted with streaks of white.
I think the top two are both useless.
Yeah. I think
I
the
I
third
don't
one or
I
fourth
don't think the
one.
third one makes sense.
Yeah, maybe the fourth one.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think just thanks. Thanks, Tabitha. I mean it.
we're family. We do things for each other. No need to thank me. That's actually
Mm,
a really sweet thing for Tabitha to say. It's because that's the kind of family I think she's kind of wants and has not
yeah,
had.
I think
I
so.
honestly kind of feel like
Ride in
that,
silence? Because
yeah,
I'm not
ride in
sure.
silence is the
Yeah.
kinder thing to do. She's exhausted.
Yeah. You slide back into silence as the car makes its way back to the estate.
We're family. We do things for each
Yeah.
other.
Mm. As the car pulls up to the estate, you and your cousin wordlessly make your way to the foyer. Tabitha noticeably strains to open the front door.
I've never been so tired in my life. I'm going to bed, but please don't get sucked into any more ghost dimensions before I can wake up and rescue you again.
Uh,
Maybe the second one.
the Stella one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you
she's
think.
not probably going to be able to answer too many questions because she's tired, but
Yeah. Do you think Stella is going to be okay? She wandered off back there. I'm worried about her.
right now I'm too tired to think about anything other than collapsing onto my bed. Stella is tough, though. Nothing keeps that girl down.
Hmm.
I suspect we will not have more than one or maybe two more.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny.
Oh,
Uh,
hello.
should we ask about the strike updates? Have we talked to her about the strike?
We have because we talked to Isaacs and then gave her the update.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think asking about updates is not unreasonable.
Any updates on the strike plans? Dot, dot, dot.
I'm too exhausted to get into it, but they're bluffing. They value their paychecks too much to take on that kind of risk. I'm sure this will all blow over soon. If it doesn't, well, I guess this bad week will just keep getting worse. Look, I'm sorry, but I feel absolutely awful right now. I don't think I can handle any more talking. I gotta sleep. Don't keep poking around looking for trouble. You just have to make it to the funeral. 4 more days, that's all. And then the bus comes.
Oh, I think
The second one's funny, but the I like the top one.
yeah, I like the
Honestly,
top one more than anything, I think. Yeah. I'd like to stay in touch after all this is done. Dot dot dot.
maybe we could do that. It has been kind of lonely being the only Scarlet in our generation. It would be nice to have someone else in the family. We'll see how things go. Anyway, night. See you tomorrow.
Time to go to bed. So, do we do we feel like, because there's variations on the strike, and I feel like yeah, I know, but I feel like maybe there is. I think we did the stuff that would make the strike not as bad as it could have been.
Yes.
I think, yeah.
One of the biggest things is if you bring Tabitha into the mines and convince her to go after the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then people will be like, are we sure we want to be striking against her? She did something kind of heroic.
Right. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly, you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. It's Wednesday night. Nearly half a week has passed since you first arrived in town, and a little over half a week remains until the bus comes to take you home. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest at the expense of unknown years of your cousin's life. The specter of the night's events will linger over her for every day she has left, a grim reminder of the price she willingly paid for the crimes of her great-grandmother she despised. Maybe her decision will bring her peace of mind. Maybe she can still right the capsized ship of her broken life. Or maybe things will only spiral out of hand from here. Episode 4 awaits. Okay, so let's see. Tequila Sunset finished episode 3 with Kenai. Oh, and what was the other one? Oh, hey!
The other one was the No.
Oh, yeah.
I saved that just for when we were actually done, but
nice!
yay!
23 months!
We're going on.
Wow!
2 years.
That's insane. That
I
is
know, right?
thoroughly insane. Yeah, the other one was, oh yes, finish episode 3 in hardcore mode. So I think Kenai is the only one I have not, like, gotten here with. Alright, so we definitely want to save. Okay, saved. Where's return? Continue. We do not need a recap.
Correct. I do need to refill my water, though, so I will be right back.
Ah, excellent. I will pause here. Oh, this is a great time to put up the content warning again. We're about to start chapter 4, and chapter 4 is chock full of all kinds of trauma. Let's see on this list of trauma that is listed here. Definitely body horror and realistic gore, and parental abuse, and poisoning, and non-consensual drug use, and possible major character death. Definitely manipulation. Definitely car accidents, parental deaths, being held against one's will, guns, murder, matricide, maybe implied, oh yeah, definitely implied sex, possibly unwanted advances, maybe dismemberment, maybe memory loss, definitely gaslighting. I love that it mentions unreality like twice in this list. So yeah, like all sorts of things. All of them are potentially happening in this chapter. So consider yourselves warned of this content that definitively needs warning about. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. And chapter 4 is the last chapter that we have so far. Chapter 4 is happening sometime in 2024. So I went over the content warnings and all of them
Ah,
that
yes.
apply. I and notice that unreality is mentioned twice in their list, which I guess makes sense. All right, are we ready?
Yes.
All right. You open your eyes. It's a new day. Last night seems so far away, you can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare, chased away by the harsh morning light. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine, but your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on a nightstand. From Kanika. Hey, hope you're feeling okay. Tabitha too, still trying to wrap my head around what she did last night. I haven't been able to get a hold of Stella today. How about you? You check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Let's text Stella or call Stella.
Yeah.
What do you think? Text or call?
Do both.
Well, let's try
We can
calling.
call and then text
Yeah.
when the call doesn't work.
You dial Stella. Hey, what's up? Oh wait, it's you. Sorry. I just kept reading.
Sorry. Also, I'm consuming food because I'm a fool. Right, so Stella's voicemail is, hey, what's up? Haha, just kidding. I'm not able to come to the phone right now. This is actually a recording of my voice. It isn't really me. Technology, huh? Anyway, leave a message. Or don't. I never check this thing.
The mailbox is full and can't accept messages at this time. Okay. I guess let's text her as well. How about Kanika and I are pretty worried?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kanika and I are pretty worried about you. Please respond. You wait for a few silent minutes. Your message sits undelivered. Haven't heard from her either. That's not good. I think we should try looking for her. Let's meet up in town. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. Okay, let's do all these things.
Yeah.
Let's check the closet first. You make your way to the closet. There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. And judging by the residue that was left behind, you're pretty sure you know the culprit. That means he was in your room. But was he there while you were out the previous day? Or did he enter while you slept unawares just a few feet away?
Lovely to contemplate.
Creepy and terrible in every possible way. Something to mull over for the rest of the day. Let's visit the possums before we take a shower. You open the drawers. The two opossums stare up at you. They both have a bread now. That's nice. You wave at them. They continue to stare up at you blankly in response.
Cute.
That was enlightening. You close the drawers. This is their home now, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Should we take a shower?
Might as well.
Might as well take a shower before starting the rest of your day. Ugh. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. Yeah?
We know from the day before that the water itself is clean, at least.
Yeah, that's true. It feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and continue the rest of the day. In the meantime, uh, we should think about, hot people.
Yeah, I think we did the hangout with Oscar, so
Yes, we are
because
in
I think you
fact.
said Oscar was the only romance you hadn't done.
Yep, we're trying to go for. Let's think about the someone special. Uh, Oscar, the shy and handsome town librarian. He and his daughter finally have their house back, though sacrifices had to be made for that to happen. You should pay them a visit today. You're done here. You turn off the faucet, dry yourself off. Okay, let's head downstairs. It's time to face your cousin. In the light of day, she looks even more physically worn than she did last night. Her blonde hair is streaked with white, and fresh creases line her features, extenuating her frown.
They weren't bluffing after all. They're actually striking, and this week of all weeks. As if I didn't have enough on my plate already. I've had I've had a full day to prepare for this though. They won't know what's coming for them.
Mm. Oh, what a smile.
Yeah. Thanks again for having my back on this. I know how some of you city folk feel about unions, so the early warning was a pleasant surprise.
Oh my god. There's an almost cool confidence in the way your cousin talks about the strike. They're in disarray. Um,
We should probably ask about Stella.
yeah, that's probably the first thing. Have you heard anything from Stella? I can't get a hold of her.
No, but that's not exactly newsworthy. I'm sure she's just processing what happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized.
All right, let's talk about the strike.
Sure. Ooh,
Hmm.
Kenai.
There's a bunch of keen
There's
eyes
so many Kenai.
and street smarts.
No, let's not infiltrate.
No, let's not.
We could ask what she's got planned.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's better to ask what she has planned or ask her about her feelings. Probably planned is
Uh,
better. I don't know. What do you think?
I think either would work.
Okay, let's go with street smart then. You
All
seem
right.
confident about the strike. What have you got planned?
I've got a lot of things planned. I've already secured enough manpower to keep the mine's basic operations in order. From there, it's just a matter of squeezing the workers until they break. Maybe I would have been happier not knowing that, actually.
Hmm. Well, we know she doesn't support unions, right?
Yeah, but it's mostly because of her mother and how her mother taught her to run the coal mine. I feel like
Well,
she is an intrinsically better and more fair boss than Perlan ever was.
I mean, yes, but because
She's
she
just
was
taught that
taught,
unions are bad.
yeah, when because she was taught that way, there's like, unless somehow she learns otherwise, she's not going to suddenly go like, wahaha, now that Perlan's gone, I'm going to suddenly figure out how to have unions, right? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
uh,
Anyway, most of them will be back to work by the end of the week, I promise.
let's not ask about
The
infiltrating.
top two, no. We
No.
could always do the usually I'm pro union because there's one of those I actually like, which is your mother just died.
Yeah,
Could they have waited a week?
yeah, right. Usually I'm pro union, but come on, your mom just died. Can they not?
Right? Let me at least get her in the ground first. But it's fine. I'm going to sort this out. I just need to keep things together long enough for the mind to get back on its feet. Then everyone will be happy and we can all go back to normal.
Oh, Tabitha.
Oh.
Um. Mm,
I think we could be done talking about the strike at this point.
yeah. Uh.
I mean, you could do that one if you want, but other than
Uh.
that, I'd return.
Should we go with this one? I'm kind of curious what she says. With everything else going on, it's hard to care about something as mundane as a strike.
Ghosts are. Oh,
Oh,
wait,
no,
no, that's
wait.
still you.
Ghosts are real. You've aged at least a decade overnight. Who cares if there's a strike?
It'd be nice to be in your shoes, but I don't get to just choose not to care. Somebody's gotta run that place. We have a product to sell, and if we stop selling it, everything will just get worse for everyone.
She's not wrong.
Yeah, that's probably enough about the strike.
Yep. Okay, we're not gonna tell her to sell the
No.
estate. Do we want to ask her about last night?
We could try. If she's like really like
Yeah.
cagey about it, we can back off.
Um. Can say other people start treating you better. How are you holding
We
up?
could also just, how are you holding up?
Yeah.
It feels a
How are
little
you?
more neutral than some of them.
Yeah. How are you holding up? You look
Old? I'm well aware. I have a mirror. Okay, I guess she was a little touchy about that. I appreciate your concern, but I'd rather not talk about it.
Okay.
I'd say either apologize or do you regret it or just nothing.
I was thinking I'm sorry, yeah. I'm sorry about last night. We should have left.
Don't do that. What happened last night is over. Don't hem and haw over it just because I have to live with the consequences.
That's valid.
I mean, we could do the hope. Well, that's fine.
Yeah. Uh, I guess you probably should get going, yeah. You probably should get going, right?
Yeah, I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe. No more hijinks.
Dot, dot, dot.
But let me know if you get in trouble, okay?
Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Uh, let's investigate the garden.
Sure.
From your eavesdropping in the general store yesterday, it sounds like Tabitha's keeping something out back. Now that she's gone for the day, you can investigate the garden to your heart's content. The air is chilly today, the overcast sky hanging oppressively over the weed-choked flower beds. You venture deeper into the garden. I see an opossum. Do I see anything else? I am not seeing any ditchlings or glowing eyeballs or anything. Do you?
Possum is very cute.
The
Seems
opossum
that
is
might be it this
adorable.
time.
Yeah, okay. You venture deeper into the garden. Sybil mentioned an enclosed space. There isn't a shed out here, but the greenhouse fits the bill. We have so many opportunities to turn back. It's kind of
Yeah.
hilarious. Let's investigate it. You start carefully picking your way through the underbrush.
Are you
It
sure?
does.
Are you sure you're sure?
Are you really sure? It doesn't take much effort to find a path. Cuttings of prickly raspberry bushes and tangled vines litter the ground around the greenhouse. You step towards the door. It's sealed shut by a lock, and you catch a brief glimpse of a horned shadow through the ancient clouded glass. Kenai, it was a goat. All right, let's see. Anything?
Nope. Guess the garden's
Nothing.
still pretty quiet other than the goat.
Yeah. And it was a goat. What a strange thing to keep in a greenhouse, especially one so isolated and overgrown. Uh, should we
Pick the lock.
pick the lock? Yeah.
There's no reason not to. You can just relock it.
Yeah. When are people going to learn that a mere lock can't keep you contained? You pop it open with ease.
I love that line.
A warm barnyard smell floods your senses as you stare down at the goat within. It stares back up at you from its place on the tiled floor, surrounded by dried herbs. Okay, so it's not supposed to eat anything, but it's surrounded by nonsense. Like
Yeah.
that it could be eating.
Yeah. I mean, mostly just the herbs, but like still.
Yeah. Maybe if you could talk to animals, the goat
Have you-
might have some hidden insights to share about its situation. But that would be ridiculous. People can't just talk to animals. I don't think the
Have
goat.
you done the talk to animal?
I think I did, but I don't think it actually said anything useful. Other
Oh
than
no, not
it
at all.
was
It's
hungry.
like,
Yeah, like
Yep, it was
hungry
like-
if you feed me or whatever.
hey, you got any food? And then you can try and convince it to leave, and it's like, why would I ever leave? I am being hand-delivered food. This place is great.
Uh-huh.
And I think the only thing that it confirms is that Tabitha left it there, but that's sort of obvious.
Mm-hmm. I mean, theoretically, we could be worried that Wayne left it here, but, like, we know she's keeping it here. She's feeding it something that Sybil is giving her, and she's making sure it's not eating anything else. I think in my talk to animals, I also fed it my peanuts.
Oh. Interesting. I
Yep.
wonder what that will do.
I have no idea. But it was hungry, and I
Forward
was
finding out.
tired of having give them peanuts as an option for, like, everything ever.
You can also give them air peanuts. That's another way to get rid of them.
Oh. Huh. I had not tried that. Okay. Well, people can't just talk to animals. Do we want to untie the goat? I don't think we do. I think we just leave.
No.
I think
Like,
we
that
just...
sure is a goat.
Yep.
Like,
I think,
if we untie it, it'll just stand there.
yep.
So,
I think
like,
we
I know
just...
that from a different run, but it still means there's no reason to do the
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. I think we just leave. The door's already open. You think for a moment about whether you should keep it that way. No. Let's
No.
close the door.
We're sneaking around. That
Yeah.
means that we want to.
Yeah. You close the door behind you and reapply the lock. Your cousin will be none the wiser about your little excursion. You've investigated the garden. With Stella missing, it's best not to keep Kanika waiting for much longer. Should we fuel up with a quick PB&J?
Might as well. I don't think there's another point where you eat food.
Yeah. If
I don't
Stella's
know if
missing...
there's any, like,
Yeah, I don't
harmful
know.
things that happen to you, but there might be eventually.
Yeah. If Stella's missing in action, who knows when you'll get a chance to eat. You make yourself a PB&J in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. It's time to head to town. You head to the front door and begin your trek to the town below. The sun shines down through a thin layer of clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. Look at all those ditchlings out in daylight.
Mm-hmm.
So many.
Now that is. Yeah.
So many. Glimpses of pale figures dot your periphery. You haven't seen ditchlings in the middle of the day before. They're getting bolder. To your
Sure
surprise,
are.
you find a familiar face making its way up the path towards you. Hey, I was just coming up to see you. Hope you were able to get some sleep after everything that happened last night. And I hope Tabitha got some rest too. How is she today?
Oh. A powerful build is kind of sweet, but doesn't now.
No, I think we say with the strike and all.
Mm.
She's back at work already, what with the strike and all. I guess the cat's out of the bag then, isn't it? Right, yeah, not a great time for her to take a break. It isn't much yet, but any sort of labor actions happening in Scarlet Hollow is new. Uh, well, we don't want to flirt.
Yeah. You could do the keen eye one.
That's true. Are you really still feeling chill after everything that happened last night? I'd be lying if I said last night didn't have an impact. I kind of feel bruised all over, physically and spiritually, but hey, that's part of life, right? Nobody makes it to the end completely unscathed. And I'm kind of thrilled that my new emotional baggage comes from a ghost instead of some boring normal trauma. Oh, wow, okay. We should ask about Stella, I think.
Yeah.
Have you heard anything from Stella? I haven't heard from her, though we don't text much, and I haven't checked with Winnie to see if she came in for an early breakfast or anything. But if you hadn't heard from her, that doesn't sound great. Seeing her like that last night was awful. She's usually so unflappable. Should we invite Avery to come with us?
Might as well.
Yeah, okay. Kanika and I are meeting up to look for Stella. Wanna come? Absolutely. I told Winnie I'd be coming in late today, so I've got time. I guess let's head to town.
Yep.
Yeah, good idea. You and Avery
I
start.
just realized
Huh?
there's now going to be a lot of our character Avery and Kanika. So should
Oh,
I
yeah.
temporarily take over?
Yeah, who do you want? You want
I
Avery?
can take Avery. I think we
Okay.
swapped it before.
Okay. You and Avery start back down the path to town. It isn't long until you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Streamer, you made it. And you picked up an Avery along the way. Hope you're both doing okay, like, emotionally.
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
That's good. I feel like I had crushed by a steamroller or something. Joints all out of whack, totally exhausted and super foggy. Mom has been insisting I caught a cold, and I wasn't buying it, but as of this morning, I've come around. It's definitely something beyond exhaustion, even considering the ridiculously stressful week we've all had. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from looking for Stella.
I feel like any of those explore options is good, but we should do explore before we do the keen eye.
Yeah.
It's not an explore.
I think this one is the one that leads us to the whole your mom is the magical girl conversation. Do you still think there could be a rational explanation for all of this? Kanika sighs heavily. Rational? Sure. Rooted in the reality that until a few days ago I thought was devoid of all magic and supernatural shit? No. Ghosts are real. They can suck you into illusory dimensions and puppet your body like a fleshy marionette. Next thing you know, we'll find out there's a secret society of warlocks running the country and that angels are real.
You gotta admit, it's kind of thrilling, isn't it? Anything could be possible. Who knows what the new day holds for all of us.
It would be a little more thrilling if it weren't terrifying. All the magical stuff we've found so far just wants to hurt us. We need a magical being that's on our side. Where are the magical girls when you need them? Like, I think that's what we say,
that
right?
That one is funny. Yeah.
Yeah. Kanika, your mom's totally a witch, right? Maybe she's the magical girl. No way. She's just a new age crystal and herbs lady. She's not... You don't think...
Oh, right. I'm Avery. She could be for real. Anything seems possible these days.
But that would mean everything I thought I knew was wrong. and my whole life has been a lie. Ugh, I need to take a page out of Stella's book and just block this shit out. I need to be focused. I can't keep having all these existential crises. I think this one, that I'm supposed to see your mom.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'll finally shed some light on things. Not sure what she's planning to tell you today that she couldn't have told all of us last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune.
After last night, I wouldn't doubt that she actually could. Your mom's always had a bit of that Glinda vibe going for her.
Yeah, maybe I should stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic thing. Lots happened in the last couple of days. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste another minute. Where to first? Oh, we didn't get a chance to ask the Kenai thing.
Oh shoot, do you want to go back?
Yeah, I do. How do we go back?
Settings is, I think, the easiest. Just because that brings up all the options. And then
load
and auto.
I think it's just like this one, right? No, that's the one before it, because that's the one that has like, let's go to Stella's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one. Yep, so she can't keep having existential crises.
That's about Stella, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the only one we've got. It's the only Kenai we've got, but I wanted to.
They're all basically about Stella, but I think I like the Kenai one.
Yeah. I think last night just pushed her over the edge. I know I've only known her a couple of days, but it feels like she has a tendency to run from difficult emotions. Usually she just changes the subject, but I get this time she wound up literally running. You're absolutely right, and as her friends, we can't let her be alone at a time like this. I've made that mistake before.
Plus, she could get mobbed by those weird little creatures, or worse.
Exactly. This is no time for anyone to be off on their own. Who knows what kind of weird stuff is out there? After the past couple nights, I wouldn't be surprised if there were actual Bigfoots in the woods, just waiting to eat any human who wanders too far from civilization.
Do Bigfoots thirst for human flesh? Is that some kind of common knowledge I wasn't keyed in on?
I wouldn't be surprised, is all I'm saying. Okay, let's get started. I don't want to waste another minute. Where to first? Okay, so...
Right.
I feel like Stella's house.
Stella's house is,
the
best first place to check. Be like, have you checked her house yet?
Yeah, because honestly, I think it's Stella's house, and then...
The diners.
Oscar and Diner. Like, we can do all of these, because I'm not tired. But yeah, let's go to her house. Let's go to Stella's house.
Good place to start. Maybe she just slept in.
That's what I'm hoping. I would have gone already, but I was kind of nervous about doing anything by myself today. Just in case I ran into yet another horror from beyond the veil or whatever. I mean, you're not wrong, Kanika.
Like, fair?
Yeah. Kenai, you make your way towards Stella's house. The door is pristine as any old wooden door, no bloody handprints in sight, and any telltale sign of Wayne absent. If something happened here, it didn't involve him, at least not at the front door. Alright, let's see. Do we see anything weird anywhere? I don't.
Yeah, no, not yet, I don't think.
Yeah.
Which is yet another sign nothing has actually happened at her house.
Right? Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. The house is quiet, the world outside muffled as you take a cautious step over the threshold into the muted air of the living room. You have a feeling Stella won't be emerging from the shadows to sleepily greet you. Your protective instincts set in, and the muscles in your arms tighten. your shoulders straightening. If danger lurks ahead, you're ready for it. This doesn't look like a break-in. It looks like somebody left the door open. Stella or someone else was in a hurry when they left.
Might as well share our keen eye insight.
Yeah. Nobody's here, and I don't think Wayne came knocking at the front door.
Yeah, I don't see any goop, but he could have come in through the back or a window.
It'd be a really weird coincidence if the front door was open and someone broke in somewhere else. Or maybe that's just wishful thinking.
Guess we won't know till we go inside. Oh, that's still Avery. Might as well invite ourselves in, right? I'd say just enter.
Yeah. You take a step forward and cross the threshold into Stella's house. Aside from a corner of the room dedicated to Gretchen, Stella's house almost feels like a museum. Everything organized with a sort of tidiness you wouldn't expect from someone as rough and tumble as Stella, and only a handful of objects feel like they belong to her. Oh yeah, we didn't stay with her in Chapter 1, did we?
Nope.
Yeah, so we've never been here. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here.
Doesn't look like there was a struggle or anything, unless it happened in another room, or maybe someone or something caught her off guard.
You didn't have to add that last part. I'm going to forget that you said that and just be thankful that that this doesn't look like a crime scene.
Seems fair.
Let's investigate all the rooms, I guess.
Might as well.
Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open, and a loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. The crust of the bread has gone somewhat stale, about as much as you'd expect after being left out overnight. Whoever left it here left many hours ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keen eye.
Yeah. It's a little messy, but it doesn't look like anything violent happened here. It's possible she came home, grabbed some food, and left in a hurry, right?
Did she have somewhere she needed to be?
She didn't say she had something she had to rush off to. Maybe she just had a panic attack after being possessed. But that was over 12 hours ago. I'd hope she would be home by now if that was the case.
Is Stella the sort of person to stop back home to make a snack in the middle of a mental health crisis? ...
Yes. And it's comforting to think that that might be all that happened. A panic attack is much more manageable than rotting ghouls or parasitic doughboys. Yeah, Stella is the kind of person who would do that, isn't she?
Yeah.
All right, let's go investigate her room.
Have you ever seen the secret photos on her computer?
Yes. And I think we get to see them now, too.
Well, we don't have to, but we can.
Oh, we are gonna. You make
Okay.
your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's room. She is not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. No streaks of blood and pus that might belong to a certain phantom miner. He hasn't been here. You do notice, though, that her jacket is nowhere in sight. It isn't in her closet, and it wasn't on the coat rack in the other room. I guess we start with saying that.
Yeah.
Stella's jacket's gone. The Letterman one. It wasn't on the rack in the other room. It's not on here, and she didn't have it yesterday. Okay, I'm sold. Between this and the kitchen, she must have come home last night.
And it seems like she was the one who decided to leave. No struggle or anything.
I guess let's check her computer. I would like to take a quick BRB and use the restroom, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Let me just put it on a BRB screen, provided I can find it. Here it is. us back on live. Hello, we are back. Sorry about that. Bathroom happens. All right. Where were we? Ah, yes. We're going to check on Stella's computer. Just getting my phone to be back in stream monitoring mode. Okay. I'm not sure we should be snooping on her computer. Isn't that an invasion of privacy?
We already broke into her house, right? For all we know, there could be some kind of clue on there, like a note detailing exactly where she is.
We didn't break into her house. The door was left wide open. I think I'm gonna go with this one.
Yeah.
I'm with Avery. What if we don't find Stella and it's all because we didn't snoop on her computer? Sure, snoop away, but I'm not gonna take part in this. I'll just be over here, standing in the corner of the room, not looking over your shoulder. Let me know if you find anything. Stella's desktop is horrifically cluttered. There's simply too many files and folders to fit on her monitor, and they overlap each other in a chaotic, multi-layered display.
Whoa, how do we find anything on here?
This is how we know Stella's from the 90s. You don't. Come on, let's go. Let's look for something interesting? Question mark.
That's where you find the.
Yeah. You scan through folders and files, file names on Stella's desktop, looking for something, anything that seems like it might be interesting. One folder catches your eye. Boring tax stuff. You're no fool. You've seen this folder before. You have this folder on your own computer. Boring tax stuff never contains boring tax stuff. For that matter, it never contains anything related to taxes, and its contents are never boring. Okay,
to be fair, I have a tax folder on my computer that is full of tax documents, but I did not call it boring tax stuff.
I don't have such a folder because all of my tax stuff is in my email folder labeled taxes. But, like, I don't have any. Not only do I not have any folder on my computer that's labeled, like, boring things no one wants to look at, wink wink, but I don't think I actually have a folder on my computer that is full of exciting things everybody snooping wants to look at.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think, like, you can find interesting things on my computer, but mostly in the way of, or it depends on your definition of interesting.
My folders full of naughty things are labeled naughty things. I mean, you know, not actually
well,
naughty things.
Not.
But, you know, like, if someone wants to go and say...
That's not what I mean, though, because think about me. I don't really have those folders.
Right.
What I have instead is I have, like, huge archives of old notes I've written. Some of them are very interesting, but you'd have to search through a lot to get there. I have some fun photos.
I mean,
that's
I have lots of fun photos. Mostly they're on my phone, completely commingled with everything else if you just scroll through my history. I have folders that are, you know, labeled hentai.
But yeah, if anyone
because
is, like,
it's
curious.
Full of hentai, right? And
right,
you know,
well,
if somebody
used to have more than, like, I used to have a lot of folders full of specifically scanlated yaoi manga. Like, that was the only thing I ever used to have on my computer that was, like, that you could term naughty stuff. But
yeah, I have a lot of that and the flip side of that.
Yeah.
But, like,
I put it all on a hard drive somewhere. I don't know where, and I just go through illegal manga sites now.
Right. I feel like the most, like, quote unquote bad thing anybody could find on my computer are like full recorded videos of things that one does not hold a copyright to. you
Oh,
know?
yes. Actually, that
And
is
that's
true.
about it.
There are yes, it depends again, it depends on your definition of interesting. I have a huge collection of very interesting, not thoroughly legal materials that are not naughty in any way.
Right? I mean,
And I mean, to be fair, the
same.
folder we're about to see is also not anything naughty. Like,
Correct,
there's
correct.
no porn in this folder.
Correct, but like the
So,
implication in the text that's currently on screen is that you label a folder boring
you
tax
hide
stuff
things.
and you hide your things in it, and usually in popular culture what one hides in there is porno, right?
Right.
But
You know, and I
like
think the other problem that comes up is probably a
Johnny's comment, open up
oh
Hanapengu,
my
it's the
gosh.
Kurizaka police.
Oh, I would be in trouble. It's true. Ah,
Yeah, so yeah, I think actually we're just boring by the definition of like
well, actually,
popular
no. So what
culture.
I was gonna say is, I think that we are both people who are not particularly prone to keeping secrets.
Well, or being embarrassed by our interests or whatever.
Yeah, that too.
That's the thing,
But
right?
like,
Because you're not going to
yeah, we
hide
are we are
your.
both people who are pretty, I think, open about everything we do. Therefore, there is nothing that
Yeah,
needs to be
that's the
hidden.
thing, right? Like, when I have photos of myself in, let's say, compromising surroundings, I don't hide them. I'm trying to not break Twitch rules about what I'm talking about. I'm not like gonna hide them in a folder called tax stuff. I'm probably going to like put them in folders labeled things like, spicy photos from August of, timestamp, right? Like,
Right.
so that I can find them more easily. But yeah.
But yes, no, Johnny, 100%.
It's
Like,
incredibly
it is not
stylish
what we're doing right
uniforms.
now, but it would be very easy for me to go look up photos of members of the Takarazuka Review outfitted like that.
Sorry, I took an opportunity to like eat a bite of this honey spice cake that's next to me that I haven't gotten a chance to eat. Um, all right.
Legit.
Anyway, let's look at Stella's boring text stuff. We are certainly opening it. You open the folder.
Sorry.
You're surprised to find it contains a carefully mapped out diagram of the Scarlet Hollow mines, including holes in fences and areas with low visibility. Okay, so we've got like high school Stella and Tabitha, and
And Tabitha looks so happy.
she does. And also, this really looks like a bad D&D dungeon.
I know, right? I
Like,
mean, it's probably hand drawn, or
I
not
mean,
hand drawn, but like, lined, like,
no, it is, I'm sure, on graph paper. I'm just thinking, like, a mine shouldn't be that full of straight lines. Not that I know anything about
also
mining, but it looks
your
like.
forehead.
Hmm?
Oh, I was just assuming this was the outer grounds, like where we went when we
Mm.
were going to talk to miners.
Oh, maybe.
Also, your forehead and also your hands are disappearing.
Great. I haven't changed
Whatever you did to
anything.
fix that,
I thought I did
whatever you
fix
did to
that.
fix that stopped working.
But I haven't changed anything.
I mean, you got up and came back, and maybe you somehow repositioned your. You know, to be fair, also your camera sometimes refocuses, like when you
Oh,
move around, so it might have
great.
refocused in an unhelpful
I'm
way.
trying to figure out which way I need to go, but there's a delay. Okay, I need to go this way to be more in the center of my circle. And I think that
Mhm.
actually helps too. No, maybe
That's fair.
not. I
Well,
don't
I'm not
know.
seeing it right now, but like I'm also seeing your video
Oh,
going. I'm also looking in your video in the. Yeah, when you lean forward, it definitely gets worse.
yeah, that's so. Hang on.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna mess with
There.
my life,
Now it
too.
can't possibly be happening because I turned off my ring light.
There. Well, like changing the settings on mine a little.
Oops.
I
Nope,
feel like
that's not.
I vaguely scratched at my face, and now there's like this whole dark spot, which I, of course, now brought attention to, which no one would have noticed if I hadn't done that. I need to stop looking at myself.
Stop looking at yourself. Okay. Back
Anyway,
to
cute photos.
cute photos. There's also a handful of old photos of Stella and Tabitha together as teenagers. Tabitha wears an uncharacteristic grin, an enthusiastic, joyful smile. And Stella's
An
eyes are
authentic
somehow.
joy.
Yeah, right? And Stella's eyes are somehow brighter, less tired. Both of them seem to be living in a happier time.
Okay, I take it back. This is way too personal. I'll just join Kanika in the corner while you wrap things up.
Okay. So, do we want to go through the tabs where basically she starts talking about ditchlings to her community and her community thinks she's full of shit?
I mean, like, in universe, I'd say yes, but out of universe, like, we've both already seen all that,
Yeah.
and we know it's not helpful.
Yeah. So I think we just. Yeah. This is a waste of time. Let's get out of here. Phew. Good. Um.
I mean, I think at this point, I don't think there's any clues here.
Yeah. I don't think there's any clues here. I don't think so either. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer's getting a lot fancier.
It could use a few more houseplants. I'll put together some trimmings after we found her.
Aw, she still does the corkboard with strings thing. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway. Yeah, I love the strings.
Yeah.
All right.
I do like that she does it for decoration as much as anything.
You know. All right, let's just leave. You turn to leave Stella's house. Okay, so she probably came home. Why is it dark out? Like, why is it dark out?
Well, I think it's just the angle.
Okay. Okay, so she probably came home last night, but she's not here now, and we don't have any idea where she might have gone. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I hoped she would have just been sleeping in. Can't believe she's actually missing.
We'll find her.
Where to next? Okay, so
I think checking the diner if we're still like earnestly trying to find her.
yeah,
Like,
I think the diner before the mines is a must.
yeah. And like we should at some point check in on Oscar because
Yes.
you know.
I feel like with the mines, we might end up talking to Tabitha. And if that's the case, it might circumvent other things. So we might do diner, then Oscar, then mines.
That's fair. Yeah.
Let's check out the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. And we definitely should go check out the cops because they're. I mean.
Yeah, there's stuff there.
There's stuff there. They're useless, but there's stuff there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Here's hoping Winnie doesn't try to rope me into clocking in early.
Yes, a small number of miners. It feels like you've walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what seems to be an intense discussion, their expressions gravely serious. What's going on?
There's a strike up at the mines. They've made the diner their base of operations. Do you want me to do Winnie or?
Yes, if you can.
Right. When you asked for the morning off, I didn't think you'd be showing up with friends. Sorry, Aunt Winnie. Stella's gone missing, and I've been helping these two track her down. You haven't seen her, have you? Don't you apologize now, and I can't say I have. Should I be worried about her?
I hope not. We're not interrupting anything here, are we?
Of course not. Any paying customer is welcome, long as you aren't about to step on anybody's toes or cause a fuss.
The miners in back were too engaged in conversation to notice you enter. And instead of speaking in hushed voices, argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. How do you want to split up the miners?
I can do Harrison. She's the one, or actually, do you want to do the one who's like hesitant about joining the strike, or the ones that are trying to talk her into it?
I
Because
don't
I feel
care.
like that's how the split makes sense.
Either way.
Okay, I can do Harrison.
Okay. I'll do the next one.
Starts with her. So.
Yeah.
Sure, the shift schedules are tough, and sure, we don't get enough time off for me to see my family as often as I'd like. But this is the best job I can get right now.
Listen, kid, you're only a year or so into this gig. Trust me, the longer it goes on, the more it sucks the life out of you. At first, you're just unhappy, but you think you can weather it till you find something better. Paycheck's a paycheck, I get it. But the next thing you know, you've lost years of your life to a company that doesn't give a solitary shit about you, that uses up every free second it can suck out of its workers and pays us just enough to survive, but not so much that we can ever save enough to get the hell out.
Sax, we could get fired for this. I really need the paycheck. My sister needs the paycheck. I'm the only reason she can afford her tuition right now. I can't get fired. And this job still has its perks, like the company housing. I can't afford my own place and send money back home. I don't know where I would live if I didn't have this job.
Right, the company housing. How generous of the big boss to put you up in a company-owned shack that ain't had proper maintenance done in decades. You know she uses that housing as an excuse to pay us less. And the company housing, that means almost nobody in this whole damn town owns the place they live. That's why the Scarlets can keep getting away with whatever they want.
Should we just shift off as the names change?
I figure there's 4 of them, so, yeah. We'll pick them up alternating. So I think Baker's yours and whoever's last I'll do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zax, we don't have the numbers, man. You know this is risky. Riskier than most of us can afford.
We would have the numbers if y'all would stand with me and not let management's scare tactics get to you.
It's not just scare tactics. People like her now. That woman ran into a collapsing coal mine and saved 3 children from being buried alive. I feel you, I really do, but how are we supposed to organize a strike against a town hero?
Are you trying to tell me that a mine collapsing less than 2 days ago is why you don't want to strike?
It's a bad time, Zax.
It's always a bad time, Baker. It doesn't matter whose name is on the deed for the place. Without us, there is no mine. We've got 'em against the ropes. We can't back down now, or they'll come out swinging. Okay, so what do we want to
validly just not weigh in?
That's true. We probably, in fact...
the question is, if we want to get involved in the strike, I have some opinions, but, we can also just nope out and be like, hey guys, here is our actual objective.
Yeah, because I think I'm kind of in for sticking to with all the other things going on, who the hell can think about a strike now?
Yeah.
Like we said to Tabitha, so...
And I mean, that said, if you haven't gotten the achievement to, if you have never convinced someone not to join the strike, there's an achievement for that.
Let me, I'm honestly unsure. Do you remember what it's called? You could just run it
through real quick and then we could, go back if you... well, I don't know, that might be silly.
That might be silly. Do you remember what the achievement is called?
I do not.
I'm just looking at my achievements. So hang on. Um,
I'm pulling it up. I still need to play my own run on hardcore mode because now I don't have perfect achievements anymore.
oh yeah, because they got new achievements, right? I don't. Oh yes, saving the family business. Stop someone from joining the strike.
Yeah.
No, I totally
All
have
right,
it.
then you're all set.
Yeah. Okay, then I think we just go with have you seen Stella, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The miners turn towards the doorway, all eyes glaring on you in unison.
The YouTuber? We ain't seen her.
Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble.
I hope she's okay.
I think we should get
Yeah.
going, but yeah. I guess we should get going. No, I guess Isaacs doesn't weigh in. You turn and leave the diner, Avery and Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. Uh, so I am thinking, Oscar, is there any reason to go see the church?
If we want to find out about what's going on in the walls,
But we don't have
but I'm
talk
not
to
sure if he.
animal.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, no, I don't think there's really a reason. I don't think there's anything you get there if you don't have the talk to animals thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you get sort of little pieces of what he will tell you
Yeah,
with
I
talk
think
to
you
animals,
find
but
out that his kid,
is
that
hanging out at
is
Tetanus
hanging
Lake.
out. Yeah, is hanging out at Tetanus Lake, but I don't know if that's like important. I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
hard to know at this point because there
Yeah.
are fewer things. We don't know how things are going to affect later chapters because later
Mm-hmm.
chapters don't exist yet.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think we could probably safely skip it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's go. Let's go check on Oscar. Because I think he's next.
Yeah.
We should check in on Oscar. He's smart. Maybe he'll know what to do. I hope nothing else happened after we all went home last night. They're so brave for sleeping in that house after everything we went through. I'd rather sleep in the woods with the ditchlings than some place that was that haunted.
Your mom said it's safe, and I'm inclined to believe her. Why would she lie?
Why indeed?
I
But
know,
how
right?
would she know that?
Magic, probably. But there's only one way to find out. Let's go.
Morning light streams in through the library's large windows. In the bright daylight, it's once again a place of comfort, Old Menace having fled in the wake of Charles Shaw Jr.'s departure. I can read. No ghosts, thank God. I was not up for an encore.
Yeah, it's gone. Just like your mom said it would be.
I guess Oscar must be in back. I know that's where I'd be if I finally got my house back.
I've always been surprised at how unsupervised this place is. Sometimes it feels like anyone could just walk in and do whatever they wanted.
Like what? Steal books?
I mean, they could, right? I'm not saying anyone would. I'm just saying that people in this town trust each other a lot. I mean, it's nice. I'm sorry, that was the I mean, yes, most of them. Unless you get into the Callaway Tremaine thing, at which point neither of them trust each other,
Even remotely.
even as far as they can throw them.
I'm trying to remember. There was one run of this where I convinced Oscar to let me go look at the seal again.
I think we can do that here,
I think it
but
might need
let's just.
Mystic, but I also don't
Oh well,
remember
I
if
guess
there
we
was
can find
anything that
out.
we found when doing so.
I don't remember there being anything. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yes, Avery was saying it's nice how everyone trusts each other.
Yeah. Let's go find Oscar. You make your way back towards the annex. It feels strange to be back here in the light of day, as if the events of the previous evening were all just a terrible dream.
This hallway really takes me back. It feels like it was only yesterday that we were last here, blissfully unaware that our entire lives were about to change forever.
It was only yesterday.
I know.
Kanika knocks on the door.
Oh, good morning. It's so good to see all of you. Please, come on in.
You want to be Dr. Kelly?
You've done it in the past. You've done
Oh, yeah,
Dr.
that's
Kelly and I've
true.
done Reese, but
Yeah, because I
there
think
is a
otherwise.
point where we'll want to switch, but I
Yeah,
think
but
that won't be till later.
yep. You're doing really great, Rosalina. Not a lot of kids your age can take shots that well. You're being so brave.
You don't have to talk to me like I'm 5.
But you are brave. You really are, Rosalina. You're like so badass. Alexis is right. This is more than most people have to deal with in their whole lives. And here you are, taking it like a champ. Dr. Kelly's kind demeanor vanishes as she turns and glares at you. Oh, I see we have visitors. Um,
I mean, check in with Rosalina seems super
yeah.
valid.
How are you doing, Rosalina?
Tired. My leg hurts a lot. But the medicine is helping. It's not so bad now. Plus, I got to lie down in an actual bed last night, and you have no idea how good that felt. Thanks, streamer.
I can't believe you got any sleep last night after all that ghost stuff. I just sat on the couch with all the lights on. I don't think I slept at all.
I really needed some rest after, the hospital and my foot.
Also, I hope you were on drugs. Your body is desperately trying to get you to rest. All that activity yesterday was pretty brutal on your injury. It's never going to stop hurting if you keep pushing yourself. So, what are you not going to do today?
Anything?
That's right. You're staying right here. No walking around, nor investigating haunted houses. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. I should have been better at stopping her.
I take full responsibility. As her father, I should have.
No need for anyone to step in to take blame for anything. It's the hospital's fault for sending her home at all. It's gross negligence, if you ask me. But give it time, then you can do all the activities you want, all right, Rosalina? Uh.
Definitely not the second one. I do not. Should ask about Stella.
Stella, yeah. Have any of you seen Stella since last night? Not since dinner.
She hasn't gotten in touch with any of you? Nope. I'd say maybe the nope. We have no clue.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Nope. We have no clue where she's gone.
That's not good. I haven't seen her since she ran off last night. I feel terrible. I should have done a better job warning her. Buddy.
Stella was practically banging down your door trying to get evidence of ghosts. I don't think you were going to be able to stop her. There was no way you could have known how she would react when she found it.
I don't even think she knew how she'd react. And besides, you didn't know how bad it was going to get. You can't blame yourself for everything, man. I know you probably feel like it's your responsibility to make sure everyone around you is okay, but sometimes that's just not going to be possible. You're only one guy. Wow, sorry, I'm just like, wow, Avery coming in with the, actually really on point advice.
Avery is the most well-balanced, well-adjusted human in this entire gathering.
I agree, and I really like them. They're my top favorite of the romance options, actually.
And I think in second place for well-adjusted here is Alexis.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Rosalina is pretty well adjusted. Honestly, I think she might be more well adjusted than Alexis.
I think Alexis has two caring parents and is pretty well adjusted,
Oh, I
and
see.
Rosalina might be well adjusted, but is on drugs. Like,
That's fair.
like
Oh, at
medicinal
this
drugs.
moment, you mean? Like,
Yeah,
not in general, but like right
well,
now, yeah,
we've
absolutely.
basically seen Rosalina in two ways. Uh, being a rebellious teenager, not very well adjusted, and on massive painkillers.
Yeah, but also Alexis, we have seen being a complete doormat to
That's true.
the detriment of herself and everyone around her.
That's true, but she, especially in this run, got over that on her own
It's,
pretty
that
fast
is true.
for like a 13-year-old,
I mean,
14-year-old,
yes, but
like
something
really
had to
fast.
happen. I
Yeah.
mean, sure, but still, there was like a traumatic incident.
Yeah, that's valid. But yeah,
Anyway,
like hands
everyone is
down,
traumatized,
Avery is
and that's
like,
part of the game.
yeah, Avery is just like the most well adjusted. I have not romanced Avery at all, but I also just
Well, you actually can't totally. You can flirt with him, but you can't unlock their romance route yet.
oh really? They
Yeah,
they are not one
there's
of
not
the
the achievement.
options.
Yeah, the achievement isn't available yet.
Interesting, because like you can attempt to romance Wayne. Like,
Yeah, you can.
I don't.
You can also attempt to romance Dr. Kelly.
Uh, I also have not
Only at
tried
the end of the
that.
chapter. There's not an achievement for it, at least yet.
I think I've tried flirting with Dr. Kelly, but I also had picked romance options with other people by that point. Like, I've attempted to romance Stella and Kanika and now Oscar. I think that's
I think
it.
those are the only three that actually have like the ability. Oh, sorry, and Reese. Those are the four that have
Oh, yeah,
where you have the ability to join a romance with them by the
right.
end of chapter 4.
I have not tried to romance Reese. I think I watched you try to romance Reese in a non
Yep.
streamed private channel.
Yep.
Um, yep.
I did end up doing the Karen run live as well.
Yeah, but that was different. That was a
Also,
specific run through chapter 4 that you did. Like, while
you
just.
are leaning far forward
Ah,
and
sorry.
losing your forehead for it.
Oh, okay, well, good to
Thought I'd
know.
let you know.
Thanks. Who needs a forehead?
Anyway,
Alright. I think we
that's
read.
what Rosalina's always. Yeah, and that was the other thing though. Like, Rosalina keeps giving her dad advice on his anxiety.
Yep, he needs some Ativan. Anyway.
I suppose I do apologize more than I should.
Oscar, are you secretly Canadian?
You really do.
Uh.
We could warn Dr. Kelly about the clinic?
Should we? I guess we should. What
Might
could
as
go
well.
wrong? We found something in Oscar's house last night, a stone carving that gave me and Tabitha a vision about what had happened there. There was one in the mines the other night, too. Both of them had a sort of pull on me. Whatever they are, there's something like them in your clinic. I felt it last night. Dr. Kelly's shoulders tense.
I'd say either would you mind if we looked into it, or I'm sure it's nothing, but thought you might want to know.
Have you ever noticed
do you try
anything
and take
weird?
her off her guard, or oh yeah, we could also do that.
Yeah, let's ask if she's noticed anything weird. Because we don't yet. We do think she is like poisoning her son, but we don't think she is mystically weird.
Correct.
Have you ever noticed anything weird at the clinic? No, it's just an old building. It has a lot of history, but that doesn't mean it's haunted or that anything supernatural is going on. I understand that there have been some strange events in Scarlet Hollow this week, but despite what your funny feelings might suggest, the clinic is safe. But if something does happen at the clinic, aren't you worried about Reese? If it's anything like what happened to us last night. None of you have to concern yourselves with my son's health. I know how to take care of him. Oh, lady. Even in a supposed ghost emergency or whatever it is you're worried about.
Now, ultimately, she's being protective, I think. So.
I think we're going to not ask Dr.
Yeah.
Kelly about... Yeah, I think we're just going to
Yeah.
remain silent. How's that?
Yes.
You remain silent. So, you've got your meds, you've got your nest of pillows, a helpful friend by your side, and a cat to keep you company. Seems like you're all set. Make sure you do a whole lot of nothing today.
I will. Bye, Dr. Kelly.
Yes. Thanks again for coming down to see us, Joan.
Not a problem. I'd much rather she stay put than have to get in and out of cars. I'll call later today to see how things are going. Hope the rest of the week is less eventful for the both of you. Goodbye, Rosalina. Make sure you stay put and keep Pixel company, okay? Dr. Kelly's features harden once again as she steps towards the door. And then she pushes past you to leave Oscar's house. Oh, she didn't tell us to come get a physical.
Well, because you're not ill.
Oh, right. You're right.
Years.
Hi, Aurora. We are having a lovely evening, and thank you for your lurk. We are going through Chapter 4 of Scarlet Hollow, and terrible traumatic things are about to happen pretty soon. Not quite yet, but soon. We might get to them today, I'm not sure. I don't know how late we're going to end up going, but...
Yeah, we can figure that out. For now, I figure we get through the looking for Stella section
yes,
and the tea.
At least. At least this, yeah. At least Stella section. Yeah. Okay.
We'll let you kids have some space. Alexis, why don't you figure out a restful activity for you and Rosalina?
Will do, Mr. Gutierrez. I brought some video games and puzzles from my house, and some movies, too. Whatever you want to do, Rosalina. Oscar ushers you back down to the library.
What's up? Is everything okay?
Yes, everything's fine. Or at least much better than yesterday. I can't thank all of you enough. I'd like to be as helpful as I can from here on out. Now that our little situation is dealt with, I'll finally have some time to dig into the town archives. Our house was haunted because someone was murdered there. The mine collapse the other night was at the site of a mass grave. With enough research, maybe we'll be able to get a step ahead of the next crisis. Maybe we can actually preempt it. That is, assuming there's going to be a next crisis. But something tells me we aren't in the clear yet. We should compare notes. Not that I have any to start with, but if you know anything that might narrow down my research, it could save me a lot of time.
I don't think we actually know that much more than you do, but I've got some hunches. I can't help but feel like there must have been some inciting event since everything started getting weird seemingly overnight. What that inciting event was, or where to start looking for it, I have no idea, but it's something to keep in mind. Avery stares at you.
I mean, it's obvious, right? Things only started happening once Streamer got here.
No, Avery. Things started happening when Pearl Ann died.
Yes, well, Avery doesn't actually know that yet.
Oh, Kanika shoots Avery a
From their
glare.
perspective.
That's true, yeah. No, we're not throwing Streamer under the bus.
What? There's nothing wrong with being a magical catalyst.
Sure, there's probably nothing wrong with someone being a magical catalyst, but there's definitely something wrong with saying someone's a magical catalyst. If people get the wrong idea, we're only a couple of steps away from the whole town deciding to shaw her. Nobody's going to drag Streamer into a witch hunt on my watch.
I like to think we've outgrown the days of running people out of town on rails.
I'd rather play it safe.
Don't worry, it's not like I'm gonna run around town telling everyone that Streamer magicked a bunch of terrible disasters into existence.
But if there's a catalyst for all this, why wouldn't it be a lost Scarlet finally coming home to Scarlet Hollow? If I may, Streamer getting into town isn't the only major event that's happened lately. Perlan died over a week ago, and those creatures in the woods were already reproducing by the time she arrived. Not to mention, I started seeing things in our house before Perlan passed, I think. I never thought to make a note of exactly when the spirit made itself known. If there's a root cause for all of this, hopefully there's a way to put the genie back in its bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have ever been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on.
You know, one theory might be that, so we, you know, I kept thinking, okay, well, maybe it was Perlan dying. That's kind of been my theory, but, you know, if the ghost started appearing before then, her dying might be part of what has gone wrong, because we also know that she died in her sleep of suffocation. Clearly,
sleep apnea.
Sleep apnea. Well, that's the explanation is sleep apnea, but like, it could have actually been something else, especially since we already know there are something like dream demons.
Oh God, yeah. Also, we don't know when Wayne happened.
Yep. So I haven't really given this specific thought, I think, before now, but like, like, I guess I just never thought about, you know, which came first. If there was a specific inciting event before Perlan died. Because this conversation really kind of makes it sound like there was, and Perlan dying is part of everything.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she died so that you would be brought to town. Because whatever was being set in motion was already set in motion.
I mean, so we know that weird things have been going on in Scarlet Hollow indefinitely. The pastor having this problem. Kanika's dad dying and her being basically forced to stay back in
people
town.
Staying in town, that's a curse that's been around for since Enoch's days.
Right. But the pastor is not that new.
That's true. However, like, everything, I think everything did escalate when your character gets to town, which long lost Scarlet, that makes sense. But I also think things had to, I think it is, yeah, see, Johnny, that's one thought, but if the ghost was appearing a little bit before she died, then basically I am positing the theory that what if it wasn't... Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, something, like there was someone who kicked things into motion, and they did it and they started off by killing Perlan. But I also feel like there might have been something that happened that enhanced everything, like enhanced the magic energy.
I'm not sure there's necessarily separate things.
It's true. It could have been Wayne. Could have been Wayne all the way down. Or whatever is now puppeting Wayne.
It could just the same have been
exploring the mansion next chapter.
Yeah, I mean, it could also have been such that whatever happened has caused Wayne to, you know, be doing what he's doing. Like, they were probably working in the shadows to line up the dominoes for quite a while.
Yeah.
Beforehand, but Perlan was the first domino. Certainly the first, visible domino.
Yeah, that would make sense to me, especially since Oscar's not 100% sure if he saw the ghost before or after she died. He's like, I think? So it must have not been very long before, if it was before.
One of the thoughts that I had, kind of combined with Perlan dying and then Tabitha needing to do what I believe has got to be goat sacrifice. As I wonder if Perlan dying suddenly means that there's this period of weirdness happening where the control or the protections or whatever are weak because she hasn't done the goat ritual yet. Like, she hasn't done the
That
I am Scarlet in charge now, I hold the things at bay.
that's a good thought too. Yeah.
Because the
That could,
thing
and
that
also that's a really good, that's a really strong theory on what the goat sacrifice is for. Also,
the impression I got, and I just don't ask me where I got it from because it's like just coalesced into my brain at some point a while ago. But I got this impression that the original Scarlet basically made a deal with something shit-tastic and stuck a seal on top of it. And then built the town hall over it and like stuck these seals to basically seal up whatever the fuck gave him this power over this land, right? Like, if you think to the stories of, chase death up a tree and now you have power because you have it in control. Or,
right.
get the devil stuck to the tree or any of those stories. Like, that's kind of the tale that I get from the Scarlets. They have this weird-ass power over this land. And that means that they have to designate each generation Scarlet as the one who wields the control. So if Pearl Ann died suddenly, like, that's why Tabitha would have been calling Sybil as an emergency, even though she had taught Tabitha what she will need to do when she dies. Right? Like, it's not like she could have done it while Pearl Ann was alive to transfer it, but she needs to do it soon.
They expected to have more time.
Yeah, they expected to have like, oh yes, mom's in bed laid up, she's got barely days. Okay, we start feeding the goat magic herbs so that we can do the thing right as soon as she dies. Instead, she died unexpectedly, and Tabitha had to call Sybil and go like, oh god, I need the herbs to start feeding them to the goat.
Younger than Edwardine died.
Yes. Yeah, because Edwardine was grandma. Great-grandma, something like that, yeah. Which is not to say that somebody didn't off Pearl Ann on purpose and get this started in motion because they knew there was going to be this break in control, right? But I feel like there's a break in the Scarlet control. But also, we have no idea.
That's fair.
Anyway, back to this. So, okay, there's a lot of things here.
All of those are, almost all of those are valid.
Yes. I think actually let's start with the carvings.
Yeah.
Those carvings I warned Dr. Kelly about are important.
To think there was something like that under my house all this time. And to think someone must have put it there. But who? And there was one in the mines, and if you're right, there's one in the clinic. Maybe that's what I should be focusing on right now.
How many of those things are there?
If we're lucky, maybe just those 3, but I'd rather not count on it.
Why don't we go down to the basement and take a closer look at the seal that's there? The ghost isn't around anymore, so there's no harm in it, right?
I personally would rather not go back into that creepy basement, but that thing has to be the most solid lead we have at this point, right?
Not a chance. I know the ghost is probably gone for good, but that thing is evil. And if there's even the slightest chance that going back down there triggers something, it's not worth disturbing. At least not until we know more.
But what if this is our only chance to...
My daughter's safety comes first right now. We finally have our house back, and I'm not taking any risks until we know what we're dealing with.
I think you can only actually go visit the seal if Rosalina is okay. If Rosalina is not missing a foot.
Maybe. Although I think you get to do it if you're a mystic and they believe you
fair.
know what you're talking about, that it's safe.
That's fair.
I think that's how I did it.
I also think he is, his thing is that he's super paranoid, like worried about his daughter, which is super fair.
Yeah.
She is recovering from a massive injury.
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think
yeah.
he's a little less firm about it if she's not recovering from
I think you're right. I'm also not sure we see anything new there.
Yeah, I don't think we do either. So.
But I do think that he should be researching those, but I don't think we want to talk about a cult.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's totally valid for us to think that Dr. Kelly is hiding something.
Yeah, let's say that. I think Dr. Kelly is hiding something. Dinner last night was weird.
I don't think we need to go around accusing anyone of being deceitful.
No, Streamer is definitely right. I know that's probably not great to hear since Rosalina really needs her right now, but something is up with Dr. Kelly. I'm worried about Reese.
She seemed pretty normal in there, even if it was a little terse with you two. She was pretty nice to Rosalina, I'd say.
Yeah, she likes sick people and kids. People who are easy to control.
I request that we drop this line of thinking. We don't need to turn on each other based on pure speculation. Besides, she took me at my word about everything that happened last night. That has to count for something, right?
I mean,
I
not
mean,
the way you think,
on the
Oscar.
one hand, kind of, but on the other hand, I also feel like that makes it even more likely that there's something mystical going on with her.
Mm-hmm.
That one, though.
Should we say that one?
Yes, I think so.
I think Sybil knows more than she's letting on. She wants me to come talk to her today. I know we've been over this, but I still think you're barking up the wrong tree. Why would my mom hide anything from us? Still, she did seem really calm and confident last night. Weirdly so. I hate this.
She did seem strange last night. She kept shutting down the conversation like she was rushing us all along, trying not to let us linger on the supernatural long enough to reach any conclusions. Still, I'm inclined to agree with Kanika here. If she does know something, why would she be hiding it?
Because she's evil. I mean, what?
Well, at the very least, she is incredibly manipulative and controlling.
Mm-hmm. Paternalistic is the word.
I'd be interested to know what exactly she intends to tell you that couldn't be discussed in front of the rest of us.
Oh, that's the other thing. She's absolutely trying to throw your character to the wolves and avoid getting anyone else caught up in it. Like,
Yes.
Like, we'll see it here. She nukes both Kanika and Avery, like, as soon as you go to the general store.
Yes, she does. I didn't think of it as her trying to only throw you under the bus, or us under the bus. I was thinking more that she's trying to divide us. So we don't have support.
Fair.
Kanika, stay at home by yourself. Avery, go off by yourself. Streamer, go by
Avery's
yourself.
Not going off by themselves. They're just going back to the diner, which is
right. And Kanika is just staying home, but again, without any support from anybody. She's splitting up the party.
Sure, I suppose, but I feel more like I could see an argument where she thinks that what she's doing is protecting people because you're the only one who actually needs to be in danger. Because she has strong opinions about who should and shouldn't be in danger. Like, she's like, oh, Tabitha, we know who needs to do this.
Right, and she didn't think it was us. But if we
think... And also, she gets rid of Kanika and Avery as soon as you get to the general store, and then immediately after talking with you, sends you off to investigate the clinic alone.
Yeah, I think if we go
very
with
pushy about you doing that.
Yeah, I think if we go with the theory that whoever is behind everything offed Pearlan, which is what brought you here, we can say, yeah, okay, she manipulated situations to bring you here to have you do this stuff.
Yeah.
And if she was or is related to the witch from the pantomime who manipulated Charlie to go and like recite the poem and whatever. Uh that's fascinating as well.
Yep. Anyway, if we keep theory crafting, we'll never get through this.
I wonder if she wants to open the seals. Anyway, moving on.
That's a thought.
Yeah, let's
I think we should warn about Pixel.
But Pixel, yeah. Make sure Pixel stays inside or he might get grabbed by ditchlings.
The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces? Yeah, the anguished doughboys. I kind of like them. It's like a hidden object game out there today with all the weird little faces peering out of the bushes.
Like them? Are we talking about the same creatures that have been laying eggs in the local wildlife?
I don't want to get friendly with them or anything. I just think they're kind of interesting.
To each their own.
Will do. I can't imagine how devastated Rosalina would be if something happened to to Pixel. Right, he's going back to. Regarding Pixel, will do. Yes. I can't imagine how devastated Rosalina would be if something were to happen to him, especially after everything she's been through.
We need to find Stella, I think, is the...
Yeah.
Or it sounds like you've got some work to do. Yeah.
I
I think that one's better, yeah. It sounds like you've got something to work on now. We should get back to looking for Stella.
I do. Thanks for the lead, streamer. See you around, Oscar.
Let us know what you find.
I will.
You pause before leaving, your eyes lingering for a moment. If there's anything else you'd like to say to Oscar, you should say it now before you leave.
Do we want to just go straight into the romance?
We really should. Like, why not?
Might as well. It's not actually a bad time right now. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's not.
Nothing is obviously bad. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Oscar, could I talk to you in private for a minute?
In private? Sure, I can spare a minute. There's a nice secluded spot around the corner.
Around the corner. Have fun being secretive, you two.
We'll just hang back here and totally not listen in at all. Promise.
You follow
100% gonna listen in and probably be excited.
Yeah. You follow Oscar to a quiet space by the edge of the woods. Wait, I thought he said around the corner. I thought he meant in the library, not...
Oh, yeah, I think he meant around the corner from the library?
Oh, that makes sense. All right.
Although this might be a little bit of a... This
Weird.
Might have been so it works with whichever version you're doing.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is there something wrong?
I mean...
Reach out to him and hold him tight. No, I don't know about that.
I think that's a little forward, even for us.
Yeah. I like the second one. I like the fourth one.
This one? Yeah, I was hoping to get to know you. Yeah, I think that's the one I like the most, too. I'm not going to be in town much longer. I was hoping to get to know you a little better before I leave.
I feel the same way. It's funny, we've spent so little time together, but we've somehow managed to leave a permanent mark on each other's lives. You know, vicious haunting will do that.
Yeah, correct.
Also, yes, the hold me option is super funny.
It's super funny. Yeah, traumatic events do that. Also, this is why people become instant friends and forever lovers in, the first 3 weeks of college. Massive, terrifying life changes do that, especially if you then spend all your time together. Anyway.
You followed my daughter. Oh, right, this too. You followed my daughter into the pit of a collapsing mine to help her save her friends.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You followed my daughter to, like, save her, unlike her mother, who left us and hasn't even left a forwarding email address. Like, anyway. Oscar pauses, pulling back his glasses to wipe a tear from his eyes.
Aww. She's going to struggle physically for the rest of her life, and while I wish I could have stopped that from happening, she is alive. You're probably the only reason that's true. And then last night, you were tormented and trapped in a hell dimension because of something you didn't even know happened that you had nothing to do with, all because I couldn't handle it on my own.
Oh my god. Oscar, stop being Canadian.
But you and your cousin got our house back. I know that she's the one paying the real price right now, but everyone in this town knew Pearl Ann, and they all know Tabitha, and neither of them would have done something like that in 100 years. If not for us.
Mm-hmm.
Your cousin took on that burden, and while it benefited me and Rosa, she only took it on because of you. I haven't been able to stop thinking about you.
You know, I have to say, with this whole speech he just made, now I feel really weird about it, because now I'm like, are you only going to get it on with me because you are really grateful? Because that's gross. I mean, it's every romance novel ever, but it's still kind of gross.
Well, I kind of got more the impression that he's like, I am impressed with how much you've touched my life for how short a time we've known each other.
You're not wrong. I think there's a lot of that too, but I feel like there's this like, you saved us and I'm so grateful. I must now marry you, my hero. Or whatever,
Well,
right?
To be fair, he's not jumping on marriage, and we also were kind of good about, we just want to get to know him better.
we skipped that just hold me option. Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
You're the kind of person I want to be.
Tip, dialogue options marked romance will start a romantic arc with the character you're talking to and will lock you out of romantic arcs with other characters.
Rude.
Right?
Is nobody in Scarlet Hollow polyamorous?
I think if they were, the decision tree would become completely unmanageable.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, this is a software design decision happening.
Yeah, and also, I really like Answer 2. It's like, we should try it out. We should, like, get to know each other better, have, like, coffee together.
Yeah.
I kind of like the, maybe we should go on a date.
Let's go on a date, yeah. We should go on an actual...
But we should get to know each other.
Yeah, we should go on an actual date. Get to know each other better, because I feel the same way about you.
I couldn't agree more. Now probably isn't the best time with Stella missing, but maybe tomorrow we could go on a date and actually get to know each other?
Oh, that means that chapter 5 is probably going to have a date scene.
Yes!
And it'll be whoever you have started a romance with.
Oh my god, I'm going to play through so many dates.
Yep, same.
Yep.
I'd better get back to my daughter, and you'd better get back to looking for Stella. But tomorrow...
He pulls out a scrap of paper and scribbles something on it before handing it to you.
Here's my number. Text me anytime. I'll be around. And assuming things have settled down a bit, maybe we can grab a coffee at the diner and actually get to know each other.
Ah, yes, with the whole town watching. I think that's the only way to go on a date in this town, really. Unless we go steal Kanika's van,
Or we could go on a nature walk. But there's ditchlings, so diner's
yeah.
better right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully by then I'll have found something that can help with the whole town-wide mystery situation.
Yay, we have a date. Oscar leaves, and you rejoin Kanika and Avery outside of the library. You look happy. I'm glad you and Oscar had the chance to talk about things. Let's stay focused, though. We still have to find our friend. Okay.
I love the little, good job, successful flirting. On the other hand, though,
Now that's done.
Back to
Let's get back
plot.
on track.
Yep. Okay, so cops, mines, or church?
I'd say let's go to the cops first, then the
Okay.
mines, and then call it there.
Okay. We should go to the cops, right?
Are you sure? Nothing against the officers of Scarlet Hollow, but you've met them, right? Do you think it's worth the trouble?
As unhelpful as they are, we are dealing with a missing person. That's cop stuff. It's probably going to be more of a formality than anything, but there's no point in not covering all our bases. Oh, who is going to be here? Oh, we have a full contingent of cops. Right, because the strike's small.
Yep, and also we've got everyone possible
We
here.
do have everyone possible, that's right. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not alone here. You enter to find Beau and Duke standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Alright, let's figure out who's
I
playing
do
who.
Beau.
Huh?
Like, I will stick with Duke and Beau because I like doing their accents.
Okay. I'll do you want me to do all the cops, or do you want to do the sheriff?
I could keep Sheriff Hugby, yeah, because I also do the funny old man voice for him. So.
Okay, and I'll do the other two cops and Kanika and Streamer, and I think that evens us out too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Now listen here, Hugby. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon, so don't you go telling me she was just a pumpkin. We worked real hard to get her that big, raised her up from a seed. It's just not fair, officer, sir. I understand that and all, but I just don't see what y'all want us to do about it.
I know y'all cared a lot about this pumpkin, but as it stands, this simply isn't a job the police can help you with. Now, if you were able to find some kind of evidence that Julius or somebody else stole this Big Betty of yours, then you could get a lawyer involved and take it to small claims court.
Dang it, deputy! Ain't finding evidence what y'all are supposed to be good for? That Julius has been stealing what rightfully belongs to the Callaways for all his life, and you folks ain't done a lick of policing to put an end to it. I told you we was better off handling this ourselves, Daddy. Sorry, the street smart one is a little funny, but let's ask questions first.
I love the, are you part of a cult? And that's why you're not doing your jobs?
We should ask about the pumpkin.
Yeah. What's all this about a pumpkin?
Seems the Callaways here have lost a considerably large pumpkin. We ain't lost crud, Earl. You can't lose what's been stolen, and we already know who did it. We saw Julius eyeing her yesterday.
Look, Beau. Yeah, look, Beau. I feel you. I really do. But that's circumstantial at best. And even if it wasn't, you know yourself that there isn't a clear property line.
Oh, we could do. I'm sorry. I'm happy to just ask all of these.
Yeah, yep. I'm sorry, did you just say crud?
Dang straight I did. I ain't about to cuss in front of the boy. Cussing in public ain't polite. You got a problem with that?
What makes you think Julius stole it? You're poking a wasp's nest, Streamer. There's 100 years of history here.
He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. He's got himself confused about where the property line is, as always. The Callaways and the Tremaines have been at this a long time. They can never agree on whose land is whose.
This ain't the first time we've heard something like this, and we get our fair share of calls from Julius, too.
Julius is a friend of mine. He's a lot of things, and he's definitely a bit of a curmudgeon, but I've never pegged him as a thief. Friend? A snake like him has friends? Friend is a strong word, but I like to think we have some kind of understanding.
Why is this pumpkin so valuable?
She was darn near 2,000 pounds. She was gonna get us a blue ribbon. And now we've already missed our chance. The judging was supposed to start today, and here we are, still stuck in the holler and short our prize winner, with Julius Tremaine to blame.
He practically spits the name, and then he literally spits on the floor.
He ain't even coming to his door to answer for what he done. Just hold up like the coward he is. At the very least, he could give us seeds from what's left of her so we can try again next year. She was good stock, our Betty. That's interesting, because I haven't seen Julius since Tuesday. He's usually in the diner every day. Not necessarily a big deal for a lot of people, but he never misses his morning joe.
Oh, well, that's a thing to note.
Yup. Julius is straight missing. I hope we'll get something for that in Chapter 5. But anyway.
Yeah.
So maybe he isn't a thief. Could be something happened to him. Mark my words, the man's a thief. You got any other ideas about who would have stolen our prize pumpkin? Beats me. I just don't think folks should be so quick to jump to conclusions. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And it's a floor.
Yeah. 2,000 pounds? This Julius guy got to be huge. I can't wait to meet him. Yeah, we saw him at the diner.
We did, but we didn't, in character,
Yeah.
we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nah, he's a wiry fellow. You've probably seen him hanging around in the back of the diner. He usually comes in once a day to read his newspaper. Haven't seen him in a bit, though. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. That man's always had gumption. Ain't nothing in the world that can stop him if it means ruining my day.
You, sure it wasn't a bear?
You think a bear would just roll a 2,000-pound pumpkin off without a lick of evidence? That's right, sir. Weren't no bear. We're hunting folks. We know the signs. This was a man's work, and that means it was Mr. Tremaine. He knew just what to do to hurt our family.
Classic Southern family.
I'm sorry you folks
dispute.
have to... Either classic
Yeah.
Southern family or sorry you folks have to deal with this.
I think I'm sorry is the way to go here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you folks have to deal with this. And, no one knows whether you're talking to the cops or Duke and Bo.
It's true. I appreciate the sympathy. We're used to it, just how things are. But just 'cause we're used to it doesn't make it any less illegal for him to steal. Even if Julius didn't take Big Betty, it might be worth doing a welfare check.
Alright, let me speak in plainer terms. Everyone knows that Julius Tremaine's land is booby-trapped to hell. It's not worth it.
Is that so? So you've just been giving me and my boy the runaround all morning?
I don't have to answer that question. Helpful.
So he's got some traps on his property. It's never stopped me from visiting.
Yeah? Do you have kids, Avery? Because I've got 2 teenage girls at home. Hugby's got grandkids. Franklin's got the mayor, I guess. I'm not about to risk getting my head blown off over a pumpkin.
That's right. There's some sleeping dogs you learn to just let lie. I've been Scarlet Hollow Sheriff for over 20 years now. You don't hold a position like that for so long without learning a few lessons on temperance and moderation. What good's a sheriff who won't do his job? This is lawlessness. If I may, sirs, ain't that a mite bit cowardly of you? I thought police officers were supposed to be brave.
Not the ones that live long, son.
Look, I've been to Julius's 100 times. I can tag along and make sure nobody gets hurt. That's a mighty kind offer, but let's give it another day. There's no need to escalate things when they might just resolve themselves. Well, that's about as good as confirmation as we're getting that it'll be in chapter 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dang. Tomorrow, Earl, or I'm running against you next election. There's a part of me that likes the street smart, like, listen up, boys.
I think we just go with Stella ran off.
Yeah.
Stella ran off last night and she's still missing. She isn't at home and none of us have heard from her. She what now?
Oh, that's just our Stella, always running off. I wouldn't worry too much about it. She'll turn up.
This is different, Earl. You know I wouldn't be up here bothering you if it wasn't important.
Yeah, for one thing, someone threatened her last night. He's been trailing Streamer since she got into town, too.
Should we tell them about ditchlings?
Might as well.
Yeah. She shouldn't be off on her own when there's so many ditchlings around. I'm sure you've seen them by now. They're everywhere. Sure, we may have seen some strange animals lately.
And we've certainly been getting a lot of calls about them. So either Scarlet Hollow is suffering some kind of mass hallucination or we've been invaded by whatever they are.
But what are you expecting us to do about it?
Ain't y'all supposed to shoot him or something? Now, son, we ain't animal control. We're the police. Wait, is there an animal control? Yes, okay.
Are you kidding me? This town doesn't even have an animal control department. Well, maybe you should get one.
Y'all are no use at all, you know that? Them things have been after our chickens for at least a week now.
That's interesting, because it's Thursday.
Yeah. Well, Perlan died also a week ago, so the ditchlings could have shown up right after she died.
Right, but before we showed up. Right? Because we showed up on Monday.
For sure, that is interesting that ditchlings were definitely appearing in town before we were.
Yep.
They are the harbingers.
Yeah, and we sort of knew that, right? Because we found ditchlings on the first day, but they were already...
Yeah, there was already a whole nest and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I think about it, Duke was specifically out there because something had been repeatedly getting at his chickens.
Yep.
Open your eyes, boys. There are strange things afoot.
I think
it
looks
like you folks are busy.
Yeah.
I think is good.
It looks like you folks are busy. We'll be on our way. Ugh, useless. Well, that was a total waste of time.
It wasn't a total waste of time. We got to find out what's been going on with Julius. He's been missing from the diner for a few days. It's weird. He usually comes in every single day.
Maybe he's preoccupied with ditchlings.
I just hope he's okay. Where to next?
Mines.
Mines.
We should go to the mines. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find your cousin. I can't say I get it, but it's definitely something she would do.
You don't see it? Oh, come on. The two of them have such a dynamic, you know? Classic dog and cat situation.
Well, Avery's just saying that because they saw the photos.
I mean, sure, but they're not wrong.
Yeah, no, it's true. Come on, I'll drive us. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves outside the Scarlet Mines. There's a small gathering
no.
of... What?
It's such a sad little strike.
Yes.
I'm
There's
not
a
sure I've seen it this
Oh,
depopulated.
yeah. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. Let's see, it says, I am unhappy with
the
treatment I am receiving as a worker in the Scarlet Mines. Better hours now or none at all. All right, hang on. Do we see anything weird anywhere happening?
You know what? Surprisingly, no. Which might mean the mines are not really a problem if there's no ditchlings there.
There were no ditchlings near the library either.
Not anymore. There were yesterday.
Yep. We saw and did something with the seal there. I am betting there are going to be no ditchlings after tonight at the clinic either.
That's fair. Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Yep.
Yeah. And it makes sense that there were so many ditchlings on the path to the mansion.
To the mansion.
We know there's shit at the mansion.
Yeah, the mansion has got to have like the mother of all seals, if not just like many of them. Okay. All right, there's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance of the mines, picket signs in hand. I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all this.
Don't worry, I know these guys. Most of them are in the diner at least a couple days a week. They'll be chill.
Will they be chill talking to Tabitha's cousin, though? Well, if it isn't the boss's cousin, I figure we'll just take turns with them.
Yep.
You might have had us fooled the other day, but word gets around fast.
What is that first one? What even?
Hark,
I think
my fellows. Yeah, it's like weird.
I think we just skip the strike stuff and ask about Stella.
I think you're right. Have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The YouTuber?
She's the one on all the banned from property posters, right? We haven't seen her. And we've been out here all day, so we'd know if she'd come by.
Oh no, this isn't looking good.
It's okay. Just because she hasn't been seen today doesn't mean something bad happened to her.
We'll make sure to keep an eye out. I think we need to go talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross a picket line? You don't have to literally cross the picket line to get inside. There's always that hole Rosalina used to sneak in the other day.
I also like that.
Yeah. I think we actually just say this thing.
Yeah,
right?
Fair.
Come on, what harm could I possibly cause by going in there? I have my cousin's phone number. I'm staying at her house, and last I checked, she knows you're all striking. All right, fine. What's the harm? Go ahead. I don't care if you're okay with going in. I'm still not crossing a picket line. Besides, I don't think Tabitha would be too happy to see me. I'll just wait by the van while you go talk to her.
Same. Everyone who works here is a regular at the diner. I don't want to make things weird.
Okay, I gotta say, I always thought crossing the picket line was like, if you were going there to, I don't know, buy coal. That's crossing the picket line. If you're like just walking on the sidewalk, yeah, like get the services. I mean, I guess despite the strike.
It is. I think the reason is because the idea is breaking the picket line means you're going past them to engage in the business that they are striking. And technically, by talking to the boss, they can't know if you're doing that or not.
Yeah, that's true. I guess technically
But
that's
that's
true.
why the street smart option is good, because then you can just be like, what am I going to say to her here that I couldn't have said to her literally anywhere else?
Right. Including at home this morning.
Or by text.
Right.
But, like, I just want to talk to my cousin in person.
Yeah. See you on the other side. All right, let's go talk to Tabitha. Because there's a scene here I want to make sure we get. The industrial noises of the Scarlet Mine are only a little quieter than they were 2 days ago. The trailer that serves as Tabitha's office looms above you on the hill.
Are you planning to bust in and get the... Like, my preference is to knock, but, like...
Yeah, mine is 2. If we bust in, we find out. I mean, I have the
She gets-
achievement for Rodriguez the Rat.
Yeah, if she doesn't like you, she gets, like, incandescently furious with you, and it's a little unsettling.
Yeah.
And maybe she wouldn't get that angry because she likes us, but, like,
We have no
she would...
reason to actually barge in, do we? I don't think we
No,
do.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
no.
polite to knock.
Yep. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and knock on the door. You wait for a moment. No response. Knock again?
Yeah.
Yeah. You knock again.
I mean, she might not even be in there. There's not,
Yeah.
like, a toilet in there.
Right, that's true.
Oh, for the love of...
The door swings open.
Oh, it's you.
Should I go?
Yeah, and try not to get yourself noticed.
Try not to get yourself noticed. It sounds like Tabitha's found a rat.
I don't think we need to... that's funny, but I don't think we need to...
No, I think we need to investigate what we see here. A broken snow globe. Stella being banned.
But also cute Stella
happy
pics.
cute Stella pictures. Charts. Hilarious October calendar.
Surprisingly cute calendar.
A picture of Pearl Ann. A picture of Enoch.
Yeah.
A shotgun. Peanut butter. And like regular nonsense.
Mug that says boss. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
and flypaper. Unsettlingly covered flypaper.
yeah, but like, you know.
It's a tiny trailer in a very woodsy area.
Yeah.
It
All right.
probably needs the flypaper.
Yeah.
Oh, the poor dying plant, too.
Oh, God, yeah. Let's see. I think we just go with, do you have a minute? It's important.
We have...
Yeah. Hey, do you have a minute? It's important. ...
I can make some time.
That's how we know she likes us. Should I,
I already said you can leave, Rodriguez. We'll talk more later.
The door clicks closed as Rodriguez leaves Tabitha's office. Tabitha heaves a heavy sigh.
Please, just forget you saw anything, okay? I can handle this on my own. I mean, we could just say nothing, but also all 3 of the top options are kind of good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the first one is a little intensely anti-strike, but like the second and third ones are just neutral observations. Yeah.
I think this is the one to say, really.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's good to know.
Yeah. People think you're a hero right now for rescuing Becca and Alexis from the mine collapse. I think the strike will just peter out on its own.
They think I'm a hero right now?
It's what I heard at the diner.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's part of why it was so easy to get so many people to keep working. If that's the case, I can wait to see where this goes before doing anything that might just make things worse. Hey, actually, by saying that, you might have
Yeah.
saved people from getting fired.
Yeah, that
Dang,
was, I
yeah.
think, the right thing to say. Because I think she needs to know that people like and respect her a little bit
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
for
no, and I
doing
love
these
that she's now
things.
like, yeah, she doesn't need to be strike breaking as heavily if she
Yeah,
knows that people are thinking positively of her.
yeah.
Thanks, streamer. I'm sure you didn't come all the way down here to talk about the strike. Why are you here? Don't get me wrong, it's nice to see a friendly face, but you shouldn't be up here. This is my battle to fight. Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I think the explore
yeah,
option, that's what we're here. That's literally what we're here
yeah.
for.
Stella's still missing. We've been looking all over town for her and don't have any leads. Ooh, Tabitha groans with anxiety.
You
Ooh,
don't think
ooh.
Wayne. I'd say maybe reassure her, but
Yeah,
not by Wayne is my friend. There
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
any evidence.
yeah. There wasn't evidence that he'd been to her house or signs of a struggle or anything.
How do we know even how do we know she even went home last night? She ran off in the opposite direction.
She did. Seems like she at least went home to grab her jacket.
Stella's been known to disappear for days while she's doing her videos, but I think we both know that's not what's going on. I'll see if I can figure something out.
Do we
I
want?
think the top one is fine. Like,
Okay.
I mean, we could be like, do you have time to hang out? But like, this is pretty much why we came here, and it's
Yeah.
like, I'll see you tonight.
Yeah. I'm going to keep looking for Stella. I'll see you tonight.
Let me know when you find her, okay? I don't want to sit around worrying about her all day.
Tabitha's phone buzzes.
Sadly, she shall.
Yep.
Because we don't find her that quickly.
Yep.
I'd better get back to work. Stay safe out there, streamer. Call me if you run into more trouble, but please don't go looking for any today, okay? Okay, this makes me feel guilty about going to the clinic
About the fact that we're gonna go. Well, to be fair, I think we actually get at least a little bit magicked by Sybil to do it.
That's fair. I don't need you going missing too.
Oh,
Oh, I love these conversations when you have a good relationship
I know,
with Tabitha.
right?
They're very
It makes me feel so
you
bad
get
for
to
her.
like I love when you get to know her well enough to peel the layers off and have her just be kind of nice to you.
Yeah, yeah. You leave the office, closing the door behind you. I am like constantly
it's not
amazed.
Getting to know her, I guess.
I'm constantly amazed that she has the niceness under the layers, despite what must have been the world's most shit-tastic Pearlan experience.
Yeah, like she clearly had a horrible and extremely strict upbringing. She talks about it even. But the fact that she managed to still maintain some like
humanity,
her, like fundamental decency under all that.
I think that's all Stella.
Like
honestly.
I mean fair. Like there was something I mean, I think that there must have been some underlying part of Tabitha that if she had been in better circumstances, she probably would be a very kind and
I think
friendly person.
Everything,
maybe not totally friendly, actually.
Everything we get from Tabitha basically says that she would have been an introvert and a, slightly prickly loner, but a nice and decent human being who is kind.
Yeah.
Right? But she is so guarded, and she has been so conditioned to believe that she is entirely on her own and she can't trust anyone, and no one can, not only can no one help her, but nobody can know about whatever it is that she might want help with, that I think that, found fertile ground in the slightly prickly loner,
Yeah.
But
and I also do think that Pearlan probably did her dangdest to stamp out any trace of quote unquote weakness in Tabitha. Which
absolutely.
Of course, kindness and decency probably would have read that way.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, absolutely. All right, you find Kanika and Avery waiting for you outside. You don't look like you found any new leads. It feels like we've done our due diligence here. Come on, I'll drive us back to town and we can figure out our next move from there. Where to next? I think we can just squarely skip the church.
Yeah, there is no reason under the current circumstances for our character to think to go there. Like,
Okay.
Stella has no connections there,
Yeah.
and we didn't talk to the preacher about the talk to animal stuff, so there's just no reason to go there except for it's an option on our list.
Yeah.
I think we can. I agree. I think we can safely skip it.
I'm gonna save because this is a good place to make sure that we say. Oh wait, this is our auto. Where were we saving? 9?
I
9.
don't remember. I think in 9, yeah.
Yeah, this is like gonna be our middle of chapter 4 save.
I'm looking at the time, and I feel like we could probably get through the Sybil conversation, but
And that's
might want
it.
to call it after that.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's get through Sybil, but let's not go to the clinic. I think that's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then we should be able to get through the rest of chapter 4 easily tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully.
I'm supposed to get tea with your mom today. Maybe she'll have some ideas. My mom wanted to talk to you. She's probably going to give you some rocks or bundles of herbs to protection or something. We can humor her. Okay. I feel like
that feels like that line was not changed to acknowledge any of the conversation you've had with her up to this point.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Do you mind if I run to the bathroom?
Oh no, go for it. Bathroom time.
BRB.
Go for it. God, I love this game so much. And I have this deep-seated need to find out what happened. Like, really, really, you just need to find out what happens. Also, I just noticed there's like a pile of oxalotls in the corner over here. It's like little plush ones, and it's adorable. Anyway. Also, I gotta say, I cannot imagine living in a town this tiny. I would literally just die of tiny town. And, yep, I would just perish. I would perish of the tiny, tiny town and have no idea what to even do with it, right? Like, because it is just so something. Microscopic. But that's kind of what it is. All right. Anyway, like, I live in a tiny town right now, but it's not like this tiny. It's like, I don't know, 1,200 people, not 12 and a half people, which is what Scarlet Hollow seems to be. And the whole, like, everybody knows everybody, and you go on a date and it's like at the diner where everybody else also is and is watching, and it's just kind of not, like, I don't know, it's just like not the way that I can handle life. But there are people who I guess like it. I just cannot imagine. Just cannot imagine at all. Meanwhile, sort of while we are hanging out waiting for Pengu to come back, I have started trying to wear a continuous glucose monitor. So I'm like looking at my day. I had like cheese and some beef salami or beef summer sausage or whatever for lunch, and then just didn't spike my sugar at all. And then I had like pot stickers with mushrooms and some cake, and that spiked it very little. Unlike like yesterday, which spiked like everything spiked it. It's just so weird. Like watching what does and doesn't affect my glucose numbers is just so fascinating and weird. Like, I love having this thing. I feel like it's giving me so much more information about just about how my body reacts to the food I put into it. And it's I don't know. It's just very interesting to me. And I don't even know why I'm talking about it, but it was a thing to talk about while we were waiting for Pengu to get back.
Hello, I have returned.
Yay! I was just talking about how wearing my glucose monitor is super weird and lets me like see how everything I consume does not like interact with my blood sugar, and it's weird and interesting and neat. Anyway, ready for more?
Yes.
All right. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as the three of you enter. Oh, also, I was saying there's a basket of axolotls over here that I never noticed
Oh, that's
before.
so cute.
Um,
Kanika, there you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, remember? You know what? I can't keep Sybil's voice consistent, but the one thing that I always try and make sure I don't know about the tone, don't know about the accent or whatever, but I at least try to make her sound sickeningly sweet.
uh-huh. I think that's the way to
And
go.
hello, you two. I hope you've both recovered from last night's fiasco.
Sorry, Mom. It's just that Stella's missing, and I...
Stella can take care of herself, unlike you.
Wow. Just that statement.
Uh-huh.
You need.
And it's so funny that Kanika is the one suspecting someone else's mother of Munchausening them
Uh-huh.
when her own is. That's fair, Johnny. I also like your Bane voice. There's a reason.
What's a Bane voice?
So when Johnny played through this and I was helping him with the voices, he voiced Sybil and he did it in this kind of I can't actually do the voice, but it's like the Bane from Batman.
Oh, like
talking
like talking through
but also there's an accent to it that I don't know how to do.
Huh.
But yes, so that's how he did something that sounded a little like Bane, and I'm like, that's so funny, you should lean into it. Before he knew that Sybil was sketchy.
Oh, Sybil is sketchy.
I may be encouraged to lean into it.
To a grandma voice, but it slowly turned into Bane, so I just... It's Grandma Bane, actually.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway.
Alright.
Stella can take care of herself, unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours.
I feel like you're doing a slightly British, sickeningly, cloyingly sweet grandma.
No, I don't mean to be doing British. What I'm trying to do is that...
I think it's great. I think it's
fair.
great. It works.
It just feels weird because, like, North Carolina and British accents is not normally.
I mean, for all we know, she doesn't fit in.
Fair.
Go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea.
I thought you had some kind of important thing to talk to Streamer about. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you want to say to her.
I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? ...
Okay, you're right. I'm not feeling well. I should really lie down. Bye, Streamer. Kanika turns and heads towards the stairs without saying another word. Not at all suspicious.
Yup!
You couldn't help but notice something stiff and quiet in her demeanor as she obeyed her mother's stern command. Whatever that was, it didn't feel like the same person who stormed out of the general store just yesterday morning. That person wouldn't just do as she was told so easily. You couldn't help but notice an uncharacteristic firmness in Sybil's voice, too. Maybe their relationship isn't so pleasant behind closed doors.
And I'm so sorry to be a bad host, Avery, but I was hoping Streamer and I could do our reading in private. I'm sure Winnie needs help at the diner.
Aw, you're right. I've totally left her on her own today. Fine by me. I wouldn't want to mess with your tea vibes. I'm sure those leaves are very particular. Oh, but before I go, I did want to ask. Are you a witch?
Avery does not beat around the bush. Okay, we needed street smarts for that.
As flattered as I am that you think I'm magical, I'm just an old lady who likes tea and has a few unusual hobbies.
Okay, Sybil, I have unusual hobbies like spinning and weaving and knitting. You don't have unusual hobbies. You have magic herbs for sacrificial goats and controlling your child. Not to mention trying to control me.
Look, I'm just saying, doing stuff like reading tea leaves is pretty witchy as far as I'm concerned, but I won't push it. Though, just so you know, if you are a witch, you can totally tell us. We'd be cool about it. I'll leave y'all to your not supernatural private tea leaf reading. We'll catch up tomorrow, Streamer.
They make their way out the general store, disappearing down the street in the direction of the diner.
Shall we?
Sybil motions towards the tea room.
I kind of like that one.
Oh. I like all of them. Do we get to do all of them?
I don't think we do. We probably only get to pick one.
I think we're going to heavily utilize the auto revert function. Because I want to see what
That's
it
fair.
does
You want to just
say.
try them all?
Yeah. You didn't actually deny being a witch.
Well, I don't like to lie. But it's not something I want just anyone knowing, so let's keep it between us.
She gives you a mischievous smile. Oh, we can continue. Kanika didn't seem like herself just then.
You're right. She hasn't been feeling exactly herself the past few days. All the stress she's been under, plus that cold of hers. But I'm sure it'll clear up soon. She just needs to take it easy, drink some tea, and not go running all over town until she feels better.
You can just skip this conversation entirely.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I do, however...
I'm allergic to tea! Run away.
Yeah.
So funny.
I'm
You
gonna...
want to try the other one?
Yeah. You're not really as nice as you seem, are you?
What makes you say that? Is this because I had to be firm with my daughter? Kanika has a way of ignoring her body when it's telling her to slow down.
When you're telling her body to tell her to slow down, sorry.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes a firm reminder from her mother to get her to take the time she needs to recover. It's all part of the job when you're a parent, no matter how old your children are.
Okay.
I'm happy to keep that.
Yeah. I guess we... I don't think we follow Kanika. I think we get to check in on Kanika later.
I'm here to talk to Sybil.
Yeah.
We don't have to drink the tea. We've got street smarts.
Yeah, we're not gonna drink the goddamn tea.
Please, have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup.
And we do not have the book smarts to tell us anything about the plants, sadly. Because if we had the book smarts, we would know that something was castor bean
We'd
plant.
recognize a certain plant
Yep,
very quickly.
yep. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here, only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright grow lights over the plants in the corner. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying earth.
I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat?
I say we do this thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we can also ask questions, but...
You lift your tea to your mouth and pretend to take a sip, carefully waiting for a moment when she's looking away to toss its content into a nearby plant. Yeah, I think we still get to ask the questions.
Yeah.
So how did you wind up in Scarlet Hollow?
Oh, my family's been in these hills for a long time.
Which is why I feel weird about the fact I keep sounding British, but whatever.
That's how I know so much of the local flora. Everything I've learned was handed down from generations of hill folk. There hasn't always been a reliable doctor up here, especially not one most folks could afford. They have to figure out their own medicine.
And here's
she's
your
closing her
opening.
eyes.
Ah, dump that tea. You take advantage of Sybil's broken attention to quickly dump your tea into one of the pots behind you. The other day you promised to tell me, what was it, unsavory tales of my mom's youth?
I most certainly did, though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like your great-grandmother Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerably more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrinking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel.
I think let's just keep going about the...
Yeah.
Why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother?
Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor.
What do you know about my grandma?
I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you.
Isn't much you know, or isn't much you can tell me?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting turn of phrase.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother.
I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist?
I suppose they just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenaged fling that ended once her grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it, what with skipping town and all.
What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant?
She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else.
Is it advice that she came to Sybil for, or, medicine?
But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assume your mother's worries had something to do with religion. Yeah, what religion, though? The Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night she came to me, it stuck in my mind. This whole conversation just feels like she's manipulating you to be suspicious of the Scarlets, and it's annoying because it feels also like you actually should be. It's like...
Yep.
I am suspicious, but not because you told me to be.
Yes.
It's always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. Like, here, I bet she knows exactly what it is and wants you to figure it out, but doesn't want to tell you, it just wants you to be suspicious.
But it has to do with goat sacrificing. I mean, what? Quit yanking me around. You have something to tell me, just come out and say it.
I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the tea leaves should help to give me the full picture.
Okay. All done.
Oh, good. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends.
Ugh.
I bet it is. Now, on to business.
Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge.
Oh dear. This doesn't bode well. This whole thing makes me mad because, like, if you're Mystic, you know she's bullshitting you. And, like, even with street smarts, if you're like, joke's on you, I didn't even drink the tea, she's like, oh, well, the tea leaves tell me things anyway. Whether you drank it or not. So, which means she's clearly bullshitting you.
Yep.
Anyway. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of a cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty, and the hourglass ties it all together with definite urgency. It's fair to assume that this all has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may, at the very least, be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, a cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, in chapter 7 or whatever, we discover that all her life, Tabitha's cat has actually been a shape-shifted whatever, and it's the Peter Pettigrew problem.
Oh.
Just putting that out there.
The French doesn't totally make sense, but...
I don't know.
It's an interesting thought.
Or Pixel. Who likes to destroy knowledge.
That's also an interesting thought, although Pixel also has a pretty specific personality.
I mean, sure, but...
Yeah. It is an interesting thought.
Yeah. I don't think I want to actually say that, but I think I want to say the other one.
Yeah.
How do I know you're not making things up?
I suppose you don't. But what's the harm in humoring an old woman? If you go through this, I don't know if you've gone through every single one or not.
I think I have.
she distinctly tells you, no, it's not them, for every single one except Tabitha, which makes me feel like this is all a big blow up to make you suspicious of Tabitha.
Yeah.
Which works with your theory about her isolating people.
Yeah. Do you think we should go through them all?
Well, we can't. We can only choose one. I mean, I've done the autosave
yeah.
thing.
I think
Also, if you have you gotten the friendship broken with the dresser rat achievement?
I don't think I have.
So I will tell you how to get it.
How do you get it?
Have talk to animals, get to this segment, and then accuse Dustin
Oh.
of being the cat.
Huh.
And like, there's a very funny thing where it's like, it would absolutely break my heart if he were actually evil.
That's adorable.
But you can, since you didn't drink the tea,
you can accuse
ask that last one.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. How do I know you're not the cat?
I suppose you don't. Though I'd think the cat wouldn't exactly warn you about itself. Still, you can't rule anyone out, even the old woman with a tea obsession.
I think now she knows I didn't drink her tea. Actually,
That's
I think
true.
she knew beforehand, too.
Probably. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. You know, time for her tea to take effect.
Mm-hmm.
Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. Judging by what you told me last night, those stones, carvings, seals, whatever you want to call them, I think it's likely that they have something to do with this. Until the cat reveals itself, it seems like your best course of action is to seek these carvings out, piece together what you can from your visions, and arm yourself with information. Is she the first one who called them seals?
Yes.
Huh.
I mean, I've
Have
been
you
calling
sensed-
them seals, but she is.
Because I was thinking when you said that, like, haven't they been calling them carvings this whole time?
Yes, they
so
have.
that means I noticed when she said seals, whatever you want to call them.
Like, I, the human, not I, the character, have been calling them seals because that's the one thing it looks like to me, right? But, you know, in the environment, they've only been called carvings or images, and that's about it. Like, nothing else.
Alright. Fair enough. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another?
Oh yeah, we didn't tell her about this yet. Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seems to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You can find Stella later. Maybe you can even find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. I think we're definitely going to explore in a moment.
Yeah.
You didn't get all this from the tea leaves.
Of course not. Tea leaves are merely a guide. Sometimes they can help confirm suspicions or fill in where my intuition falls short. My family has lived in these hills a long time, as has yours. I know the Scarlets have secrets. I know Vivian was scared for you, but your place in all this is something we have to figure out together. And that's where little tricks like tea leaves come in handy. I'm sure! Little tricks like tea leaves, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But we shouldn't digress. Do you know where you might find the next stone? don't want to tell her.
I kind of don't either, but she tells us how to get into the clinic.
We can, no, almost every skill has a way to get
Yeah,
in by yourself, so.
that's true.
You could always just say, I shouldn't seek out more of them.
Yeah, that's true. Let's do that.
Just deny her.
I shouldn't seek out more of them. Those stones need to be left undisturbed.
You've seen how many ditchlings have been gathering around here. If what you've seen so far was not the main event, imagine how bad that's going to be. Anything that happens around those stones may be worth it if it means you're able to get ahead of your adversary and whatever threatens this town. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions than giving any clear answers. The second one is funny.
That is
Don't do
hilarious.
it, but it's funny.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it, but I think I want to do that first one.
Yeah. I mean, she complains about her back and stuff.
Yeah. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me?
I may have been able to see through that spirit's illusions, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman. I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'd be more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I'd been in those mines with you. Some use I'd be, struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing out my back from all the crouching. Oh, I like that one.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah.
All you did was look at some leaves and tell me to go put myself in danger.
I suppose you could see it that way, but I hope I've done more than that, even if you don't realize it yet. Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat.
With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table and you're escorted back to the door.
And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely being ready for it might not be enough.
Sybil closes the door to the tea room, the bells of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. Shall we check on Kanika real quick? Because I think that's important.
Might as well. Yeah, we might not be able to get her to leave with us and get that scene, but
Yeah,
at least checking on her.
yeah. You're not going
It's worth
anywhere
being
before it.
concerned.
Yeah, checking in on Kanika. You make your way upstairs. You knock on Kanika's door. Mom, I really don't need any more tea. I think I'm just going to lie down for a while. I'm not your mom. Oh, Streamer, what's up? Can I come in? Sorry, Streamer, my mom was right. I'm exhausted. I probably shouldn't push it, or I'll wind up worse off tomorrow. It looks like you're on your own. Oh yeah, so we don't get that scene at all.
Nope.
What is it that we need to do to be able to actually go in?
You need to have a higher affection level with her, basically.
Kanika. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
We focused on Tabitha too much for that, I think.
Yep.
You make your way out of the general store and down the road to the clinic.
Like, I don't think we have a bad relationship with Kanika, but it's not quite high enough for that.
Yeah, I
You
want
have
to
to be
get
at the point
to.
where-
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I have a run where I have a high relationship with Kanika and talk to animals. So I need to do that so I can get that achievement.
Fair. I think you need talk to animals, and you also need
Keen eye.
keen eyes.
Yes.
You notice it.
Yeah, I think that is literally why I picked those two for that run.
Fair.
I want to get to where we have a picture, basically. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. Okay, there we go.
here we are.
Yep, so
This is like pretty much the perfect place, I'd say.
yeah, just so we know, we've got ditchlings, random creatures, ditchlings,
Raccoon.
Wayne.
Well, the raccoon is important for one of the ways to sneak into the house.
Yes, but like random actual like living creatures, and ditchlings who are not regular living creatures.
Did you get the ditchling that's next to Wayne, or a little over that one?
Well, I got Wayne and then just ditchling. Is that who we mean? Yeah.
I was just making sure you got that guy.
Yeah, there's ditchlings here and here and here, and Wayne, who I did not notice the first time I played through this scene. Oh. But yeah, these are like the ditchlings looking into Reese's basement. And ditchling over here, and ditchling over here. I think that's it, right? That's all that's happening.
Yeah, you covered all the ones I saw.
Okay. And let's save.
And this time we'll be back at it tomorrow.
Yes, I think tomorrow at, what is it, like at 2:00? I'm hoping to get
1 o'clock or 2 o'clock.
Yeah, I forget what was said, but I think it's one of those two. And hopefully I will get a whole bunch of packing done before then.
No, you were right. It's 2 o'clock.
It's 2:00. Okay, excellent. Yeah, I think we've got like maybe 2 more hours of this, because my recollection is chapter 4 is like a good 5 hours.
Either way, starting at 2 means we will definitely have enough time to finish it before Johnny's Sunday Scary stream at 5.
Yes, that's the hope. That's the hope. All right. Well, thank you for hanging out with us, folks. Do we have... I'm just going to really quickly check if there's anybody, like, reasonable to raid. I don't think anybody, like, I know is... Yeah, nobody's really streaming.
No one I know.
Yeah, so I think we're just gonna go off. All right. Yes, absolutely, Johnny. See you then. And thanks again, everybody. And great thank you to Ohana Pengu, who I'm gonna do another little shout out to. Woo! And we'll talk to folks later.